making this live tweet. And we are live. Oh wait, I did not send the live tweet. And we are live, and now anyone on Twitter should know. We are live like 10 minutes late, but only 10, not 11, so I think that's a victory. But woof, Spotify and I had a whole falling out and spat, so we're lucky we got music right now. Let me make sure we got music right now. We should have music right now. We're just jumping into it today. I know it's gonna be a couple minutes before any lovely, lovely, wonderful people can join me, because I did not do the whole, starting up screen, but that saves me on editing later, because I do edit those out for YouTube videos, and that's why I only have one YouTube video posted as of now. That very first part of the debut. But also because that one was kind of a brat to, edit, because I had to, like, take out the one part where I got muted. And speaking of Spotify and muted music and stuff, today I'm gonna be testing a whole new set of songs. I went from like a 5-hour playlist to a 2-hour playlist of songs, because when uploading to YouTube, they are really good at detecting what music you're listening to and demonetizing everything. And as if I'm really making money at this point on YouTube, not really. I have one video there. But it's like good for future notice to like be like, okay, my art playlist cannot have that song. A lot of Vocaloid producers, which is very fair. But I was surprised. I think Hachi and Wawaka, who are like legends, don't have, like, their stuff didn't get striked for me, so we'll still get to hear them today. So, thank you, everyone, for being here, belatedly, but thank you. Today we're gonna be drawing quite a few things, if I can get through it all. I'll only be drawing till about 7, because I do have a job I have to do today. But we are gonna start off with something that's pretty much done, so we're guaranteed to at least get one of these done, please. Please, if I don't get too off the walls somewhere else. I even thought, maybe I should do a warm-up sketch with you guys first. No, I know how that goes for me. Every time I warm-up sketch, it becomes a full illustration, and it takes me hours, so... Oh, hello! Thanks for following, Giant Fares. Is it Giant like Brian, or Gian like Ian? Well, Gian Fares, or Giant Fares, thank you for following, and hello! How are you doing today? Thanks for joining me. We're about to do our to-do list for what we're going to draw today. And the first thing is almost done, so it is Lenn's commission, which I'll pull up and show you guys where we are at on that. I don't know why I need my end to look nice, because we are definitely deleting this list and it's not formal, but I was like, that end doesn't look good. Like, I need to redo it. I don't. But yeah, I hope you're doing well today, Gian, or Gian. But if there's, or I guess it could be Gian or Gian. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love to know how to pronounce your name. But Lenn's commission is the first thing we're doing. I'll go ahead and show you guys that. The latest thing I left off on was the color concept, which got approved. She was super down for it. And she says, doing good. Just checked the VTuber tag and saw your cute avatar. Love the style. Reminds me of an Animal Crossing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I am not always the most confident, so like in my art and stuff. So I really appreciate it. Yeah, I drew this model, but my friend Adrian, she rigged it, and she's like, woof, so talented. Like, I can't, in her patience, wow, astronomical. And I know, because I'm from out of this galaxy, so I should know things that are astronomical. I don't know if that's how it works. I don't know anything about space, if I'm being honest. But thank you! I love Animal Crossing! So don't worry, neither I know how to pronounce my own username. Man, ain't that just how it goes? Well, I'm trying to think. If I like the G sound or the J sound. I think I like Ian more than I like Ian. No, I'm trying to think. What's the coolest way to pronounce it? Gian? Gian? Oh yeah, I think I like the Ian. The Ian sounds super cool. Like Mayan. Which just rolls off the tongue really well, I think. So Gian or Gian? I think Gian sounds cool. I don't know if that's a weird way to pronounce it, but I'm glad to hear you're doing good today, and thanks for checking the tag and stopping by. I really appreciate it. I've been up to anything fun today? Oh, and here's Lenn's commission. It's currently, like, got the color concepts down. So all we have to do for this today is a really basic background and, like, all the shading. But otherwise, all the colors are pretty much done. And Gian says, like Gaia? Yeah, just like Gaia! See, like, it sounds really cool. So I'm like, what's the coolest way to pronounce that? Gian like Gaia. There's a lot less A's, but it's like Brian, it rhymes. Which, Brian's a good name, I think, but I kind of like the name Ryan a bit more. No shade on any Brians. But I like the letter R a lot. I mean, it is the first letter of my name, which is Rain, for anyone new. Adding it to my pronunciation list. Oh, nice! Yeah, it's the wicked pronunciation. Like, you can have, like, the casual one, like Gian. Like, that sounds so calm and casual. And then you got the wicked one, which is Gian. But also, like, some guy. The guy version of Gian. But, we're gonna work on that. And then the other thing we'll be working on is my commission for J-Rod. And that one's only at sketch phase. I've been making sure to do Lenn's first, and then going ahead and doing Jay's after. So there's Jay's commission. And frankly, I don't know if I'll be taking a break in between certain things to, like, I'll probably be messaging Jay and being like, oh hey, like, is this sketch okay? Like, this is the concept, this isn't even the sketch, I don't think. Sometimes I skip the sketch stage and go straight to line working, so we'll see how that goes. But there's a lot missing. Like, here's references for the character on the right, and references for the character on the left. I have, like, a ton. Because you can never be too thorough, I think, when it comes to references. So, I will be working on that, probably getting the sketch down with all the extra accessories, and then I'll send it off to Jay and be like, hey, dude, is this cool? Unless they stop by, in which case I'll just ask them on the spot, if they're comfortable with it, like, hey, is this good? Am I good to approve to move to line art? But while they're approving, we'll probably just do some doodles, which I have lots of ideas for a bunch of different art, so I'd be excited to draw them with you. Gian says, Gian A's Jean Yine? Or Yane, rhymes with rain. John, Giorno, Gigi, Jean, Jafar, and now Gian. Wow! I'm so envious, that's so many cool names! I think I've got... A lot of people call me Rainy, obviously because my username, but my name is actually Rain. Rainy is just the weather I like, so it's very convenient for me to have the name. Maybe jaded. I think sometimes being named after something makes you like that something a little bit more. Not always, but sometimes. But people call me Rainy a lot, especially since Rain is a pretty common name. So I feel like Rainy is a little... I guess it's different enough that it differentiates me from some Rains. But I actually really like the nickname Ray. Like, not a lot of people call me Ray, but I refer to myself a lot as Ray, hoping it'll catch on, because it's like the rays of sunshine that occasionally peek through really beautiful rain. But I guess I don't. They're all weather-based, so all of my nicknames are weather-based. I thought about other ones like Rainbow. I thought Rainbow would be a cute nickname, but no one has ever called me that, and I don't really mind. But there's so many cool, like, nicknames are so fun! Like you said, Gian, the more the better. And also, thank you for the compliment. But, yeah, I love nicknames. They're so cool and so personal. My roommate Brevs, she's always wanted, like, more nicknames, but I don't know. I used to, and it's spelled Brevs, like, let me see. Like the beverage. A Brev. But, like, with an S. But I'm like, huh, I guess you could be Brevy? Or you could be, like, Brev without the S? Or you could be, like, Breh. I don't know what you can do for Brevs. I feel like I had some idea. BV? I don't know what nickname you do for that. But Guyan says, rain is good. Love fall and drinking some tea on a rainy day. Totally! I just had some chai before I got on stream here, so I would, like, have a warm throat so I can hopefully talk for longer. I love tea. What kind of tea is your favorite? And also, yes, rain is my favorite ever weather. Like, it's like my favorite. Like, it helps me concentrate, it helps me sleep, it helps me feel, like, calm. It's so nice. Oh yeah, and then I guess the last thing on the to-do list is doodle, if we get the chance. But we may just be working on Jay's commission after Lenn's today. No, I accidentally pulled up the color concept, so let me go ahead and pull up the actual file. Wait, why is the bird not colored? Let me see. Oh, that's right. It's because this was what the bird looked like originally. I don't know if you noticed. But the bird has a little feather now. It looks like slightly different. It's got like a little bow and stuff. Because Lenn actually has a bird, I think called Small Bird or Little Bird. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just gave you like a random bird initially. I should make it like your bird. And so I did. With the color concept, let me see, where's the file where I've got, what's it called? Lenn Liana icon bird edit. There we go, the bird edit version. You can see all my names are pretty boring down below. Brevs always has something pretty wild, like, Disney Princess 69420 or something. Like, Brevs always has some wild PNG names. And, like, that's really tame for what Brevs usually names it. Usually be something really bizarre, not in reference to the picture at all. So I don't know how she finds her art pieces at all. But I just name him pretty boring, like Lenn Liana icon. And Gian says, chai tea is great. For herb tea, I make myself a brew of mint and rosemary tea. Ooh, that sounds wonderful. You know, of all the herbs, I feel like lavender is one of my favorite to see inside, like lemonade and tea and stuff like that. Oh, you said rosehip. Sorry, I confused it. Ooh, what's the difference between rosehip and rosemary? I am not a very well-versed herbologist, but that sounds wonderful. Like, if you got rose in your tea, then you're doing it right. Like, flowers in tea, like, that's so, it smells so nice and it tastes so good. But I'm definitely a sucker for chai. That's probably my favorite kind of tea. But there's so many good ones. Like, Earl Grey is so good, and Lady Grey is really good. I realize I like a lot of black tea, but green and white tea is good too. Especially the flowery teas. I love those. I'll close this for now. And I'll close the concepts for now. Oh yeah, and I told Lenn when I was doing the commission, because I was like, I didn't know, I really just color picked these colors straight off of her avatar. So I was like, I don't want to be like rude or whatnot and be like, oh, I just color picked these, because like maybe it doesn't look right with my style. I don't know if that's a thing, but sometimes like when you draw something but your style is kind of different, like maybe different color palettes work for that. Like anime styles are so like desaturated that maybe doing bright colors with them would look kind of jarring, and my style's kind of cartoony in comparison to Lenn's. So I was like, I don't know if I should just color pick, is this okay? And before she could respond, I like whipped out a random like alt palette Lenn to be like, I can recolor this. This took me like 7 minutes to recolor, so I was like, if you need me to recolor anything, I want you to know it is so easy for me to recolor. Look, I just recolored everything suddenly, like, because I have everything separated on layers, because I really wanted her to feel comfortable to like ask me to edit stuff. But she was like, no, it's good. So I was like, okay, well, I just made an alt Lenn for fun. Gian says, rosemary is like lavender. Rosehip is like a red nut fruit. Tastes really fruity. Oh! You know, I don't have a lot of fruity teas, but I'm always down to try a new one. I'll keep an eye out at the store. And also, I think it's good to embrace the personal style. Yeah, I think I definitely draw with lots of bright colors, and I like bright colors. Despite people saying things like certain neurodivergent individuals get stressed out by bright colors, I think that's a pretty broadly stroked like hypothesis of some people's. I don't know if that's proven or anything, but I like bright colors. And I'm pretty neurodivergent, so I'm like, I don't really understand that specific conjecture, but I'm sure it works for others. That being said, I just took Lenn's colors, and I was like, I think these work. I think I made one, like, a little brighter, like the dark blue, but I was like, is this bright enough? Oh yeah, and I guess you could see, this is Lenn's style. I literally color picked this. So, I was like, do I make the yellow brighter? Because when I color pick it, it doesn't look as yellow, but I'm hoping that once I, like, shade it and stuff like that, the colors will stand out a bit more. Because it looks a little washed out, but it's only because my style is usually so, very contrasting and bright in colors. I know, isn't she cute? She's like the ultimate Disney princess, and it's super cool. Actually, if there's anything that reminds you of her or whatnot, I think she's just Lenn Liana, like the name that you see here. I think that's her name on Twitter, and she's doing this cool thing right now where she's like, alright guys, like tell me what I remind you of or whatever. I put in 4 submissions, and I was like, you remind me of so many things. Like, I was like, well, Piplups make me think of you, because she likes Piplup, and she kind of reminds me of Anna from Frozen, because she posts Anna gifs all the time, maybe, and, like, so it makes me think of her. And then, like, gosh, she reminds me of Saya from Bang Dream, because she's got, like, the same personality. And she likes cooking or whatever, and she works at a cafe. and she's also a brunette. And they were all brunette for some reason. Like Kotori also works at a cafe from Love Live, and she reminds me of Kotori. Just like a really sound big sister vibe is what I get from Liana. Anyways, she's doing this like Twitter thing where she's like, hey, tell me who I remind you of. If even just her PNG reminds you of something, you should totally take her Twitter and be like, hey, this is what you remind me of, because she's gonna do some big tier listy thing or whatnot on like everyone's submissions. But I would love to see what everyone like says when like they're saying what she reminds them of. And Gian says, Lynn Liana? I think it's like Lenn, and then I think on Twitter it's like _ Liana? I'll check just in case. Let me go check the Chrome. And let me see. Lenn. Lenn's a good name. I do like that name. Okay, no, it's just all one word. There's no underscores. So just LENNLIANA. But yeah, if her PNG reminds you of anything, then I recommend go like telling her like, hey, this is what you remind me of. I'm sure she'd appreciate the more submissions and stuff like that. I have no clue what she's gonna do with them, but I'm very excited to see what she has in store. She's always pretty like creative and stuff like that. Like she's a very imaginative. I was like, what's the word that's not creative but like implies that you have lots of creativity in your mind? I'm like, imaginative. She has a really good imagination, and she's got like really good art and cool things. And I like what she does. So alright. Also, I was stoked when she commissioned because I was like, her hair is so fun to draw. Let me go ahead and do the I always want to do the hair first, but I'm always so torn. Crowan, hey! How's it going? Hopefully your day's treating you well. Oh wait, weren't you? I think you were live earlier. How'd your stream go? Hopefully you had fun. I am gonna hold off on coloring the hair because it's my favorite part, and I'm just gonna make sure I save it for the end, like the cherry on top of a cake. Cheren says, day's going very well. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Hopefully you're staying cool. I know it's record high temperatures in a lot of places right now. Like, currently my computer desktop says, like, high heat warning, and I'm like, dang, Windows, thanks for looking out for me, but I'm inside, thankfully. Cheren says, stream last night was fun. How are you? Oh, I'm glad. Are you drawing more of your, like, really cool, like, you have, like, this, like, demon OC character that's, like, really, really cute? And I'm doing good, talking to Gian, who's been a pleasure. And working on Lenn, who's really fun to color and really fun to draw. So, I've been doing great. Thank you for asking. And Lenn's here! Hello! I hope you're doing well, Lenn. How are you? And are you safe? Oh my gosh, you just did, like, a really, really long drive in, like, super heat with no AC, right? Like, I hope you're okay. And once I heard about that, I was like, I guess you couldn't get the car fixed or whatever? Like, I'm sorry. And Cheren says, Matora Chuan! Yeah! Yeah! That's your demon, right? She's so cute. Wait, I don't know her pronouns, though. It could be they, them. But that character is super cute. Or I guess it could be any pronouns. But, I feel like that character. Okay, she, her. Yeah, she's super cute. And Lenn says, Crowan! And Crowan says, thank you, yes, my little demon. She's super cute! I hope you had fun working on her, or that you've been able to draw her lately and stuff. Or that whatever you drew, you had fun, and all the variety of games you had was fun. And Lenn says, I feel like death, but I'm alive, and I wanted to come hang out. Oh, thanks for hanging out! You'll probably see this to completion, honestly, because, it is very close to being done. And then Crowan says, she, her, and then OMG, drink up! I know! Like, please hydrate! I'm glad you're alive, but, oh my goodness, like, I can't imagine. Like, in these heats, we're like in record highs right now in the United States anyways. And Gian says, oh, Lenn herself. Yes, the celebrity, the guest star of the night. Here herself. Lenn, I'm trying to recommend people go to your Twitter page and do that thing that you were doing where it's like, who do I remind you of? Because, like, I really want to see what you're doing with that, but I'm not going to ask because I know it's a surprise, but I'm excited to see what you do for that. Oh, and Gian redeemed stretch. Thank you. I actually forgot to do my stretches before I got here. So I totally stretch right into the left. And I'll stretch my hands. Thank you. And Lenn says, yes, I'm so excited for this. I'll stick around for as long as I can. I mean, honestly, rest when you can, too. Like, I hope this is restful because, You definitely need it. But yeah, it was in the hundreds this weekend for me. Oh my gosh. Gian says following. Yay! Yeah, follow the Lenn Nation, because she's like super creative and stuff. And like does some really fun things. And it's just an all-around great person. I highly recommend it. But okay. I always like to shade with like slightly warmer colors, but I know that's not how shadows work. Usually just get desaturated and cold. But I don't claim to be a color master yet. I'll get there. And Lenn says, oh heck yeah, your streams are so chill. Aw, thank you. One day, the only non-chill stream I ever plan to have is I want to do Beat Saber, but I need to make like a lot of warnings for it because there's so many flashing lights, and like sometimes it glitches out, and like I don't want anyone having like a problem with it, so I need to make like a new overlay with lots of warnings, and I need to like also demonetize the stream in advance because it is going to have so many like copyrighted songs, and I'm like, and I don't know how to do mic setups, but I really want to do Beat Saber streams. That'll be the least chill streams. And Cohen says, I love rain streams. Oh, thank you, and ditto. I feel like every time I go to a Crowan stream, it's so well coordinated and so fun. Like, whether it's a chill Crowan stream or a hype Crowan stream, all Crowan streams, great. Lenn says, oh yeah, that makes sense. Man, okay, I actually watched a video back the other day, or a playback the other day when I was editing one of my videos. And there was a moment where I was like, huh, Udi said something, and then I totally forgot what that was in response to. But it was literally 2 seconds prior. And I have those moments sometimes where I'm like, I forgot what that was in response to. But the, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, oh wait, like the Beat Saber warnings and stuff like that? That makes sense? Okay, then yes, I'm back on the same page. Yeah, there's a... Honestly, the game glitches out individuals like Judder so much that I'm like, I know this is going to be a really huge issue for anyone who has like photo or light sensitivity. And I do need to demonetize stuff, if that was also what you said makes sense too. Because I'm going to do a lot of custom songs, because I don't really like the Beat Saber songs very much. Controversial, I know, because they worked really hard on that soundtrack. But I'm definitely more into the custom songs on it. But that would be like a pretty hype stream, I'd hope. But I also play like some classical music on Beat Saber, because I'm just that guy. And Crowan says, aw, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're very, 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 very welcome. Huh. Did the music stop? Let me see. Maybe Brevs might have accidentally logged on to our joint. Oh, goodness. Spotify is always giving me troubles. They're doing it again. Okay. Am I back? Yeah, I think Brevs probably honestly just opened Spotify and was like, oh shoot. But now, it's all gunked up on my stream. What? Well, as you can see some of the ways that Brevs names things, because this is Brev's Spotify that I share with her, and all you can see is where to come shot. It's over 18 plus, it's just because I live with Brevs. Alright. We're gonna find it again. We're gonna find the name of the song. Oh my goodness. And Cheren said, ooh, I never thought of classical music in Beat Saber. Dude, it can be so fun, especially like demo music. And Imagines Dvorak's New World Symphony No. 9. Ooh, is that on Spotify? Because I'll totally play that next. And OMG, can I have this song name? Yes, it is called... Let me see. Spotify is such a brat sometimes. Young Girl A. And it's by Sinamota. Let me see. Oh my god, did Spotify just disappear out of existence? What a brat. Okay, let me see if I can just get Spotify back online. Okay, it's at least here now. We have no clue where this is going. I don't know how or what. Okay, so like the bottom half of Spotify is just dead. Maybe... Is there anything on Spotify I need to be worried about? No, you guys can see pretty much everything on this Spotify. But there's playlists from like all of my friends on here, so... I'm gonna remove Spotify. You're gonna see lots of eclectic names. I'm gonna get my own Spotify soon, but currently it is co-owned with a lot of people. Okay, so window capture. We'll call it Spotify. The name's already in use. Well, that's rude. Spotify Part 2. Look at the music go. And it'll be... It refuses to capture Spotify. Goodness gracious. I just want to show you guys what I'm listening to. Why is it so mean? But yeah, I love this song. It's honestly like kind of dark, pretty harrowing, but it's a good time. And Grant says, TYT King, or thank you King, or thank you the King. I'm really bad at abbreviations. If TYT means something else. Gian says OBS choosing violence. I know! Dude, honestly, that's why I was 10 minutes late to stream today, is because Spotify and I are having a falling out, and I'm like, you bitch. Why are you this way? And OBS and I are always having a feud. Add existing. Okay, cool! We got Spotify up. Now you can see the name of my friend's Spotify. And we can get Spotify back here. Put it back where it belongs. You think maybe, hopefully this is good enough. I don't know how centered that is. But there we go. We have it. Young Girl A by Cinemota. Thank you. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should make it bigger because it's kind of small and hard to read. There we go. And I can get rid of the album art because we don't need that. And I'm gonna move this down. We're getting through it. And that kind of cuts off some of the title. But you know what? You get to see most of it. I hope. Okay, it works. It's close enough. Lenn says, who needs album art when we've got Rain's art? Oh, thank you. We're back on track, speaking of. But yeah, I always like to shade skin with like darker, warm colors. I think it's just nice and friendly. I would like to make dark harrowing art too. I don't feel like I've ever shown you guys, but I totally, what is it? I totally draw horror and like gore and stuff sometimes too. I just don't really post that very much. And Gian says, would a BRB screen help for a more controlled environment? It totally would, but and I have one. I have a BRB screen for like when I go use the restroom, but there's this thing that everyone does where like, let me see if I can illustrate it, where there's like, it's like an OBS, like this is the OBS screen, and this is like the screen, and here's like all your little like scenes down below and stuff like that, and then like here's all your audios, and here's like your chat and stuff. Okay, so this is kind of, some people have it like where it's like two different windows, and like there's like the preview window of like this is what everyone's seeing, I guess, and like this is what you see. I don't have that, and I genuinely don't know how to get it back because I think I one time deleted it. Cheren says that's called studio mode, and Akito says studio mode. Thank you! Yes, and Lenn says, oh yeah, studio mode. You guys know what that is. I don't know where the studio mode button is. Oh wait, it's in the bottom right? Oh my god. Also, Akito, hey! How are you? I'm gonna go to studio mode. Oh my gosh, that changes everything. I don't know. I am really, really bad at technology. If I could, like, possibly convey that in any possible way, I am so bad at it. Studio mode would be really helpful, because then I guess I could, like... I mean, I'm looking at it now, and I have no clue how I would do it, but I know that I can technically make... Okay, this preview in this program, I can, like, throw the stream up on the preview and then fix it on my end. I will totally figure out how to do that moving forward, because I don't super like showing all my tabs and stuff like that, where I'm like, oh man, here's all my friends, like, really poorly named Spotify playlists and stuff like that. No shade on my friends. I think maybe it's just very uniquely named Spotify playlists, but they are kind of lewd sometimes. So, I'm like, and like all my, like there's like, oh, here's a playlist for Finn. And like, it's like there's so many people in there that I'm like, I don't want to like have to bring all their names into this, but it's like, well, sorry guys. I put your names in this because I don't know how to do this, but I think having a studio mode would be super helpful. Thank you. And Gian says, you guys are great. Yeah, thank you. Everyone, studio mode? Yes, studio mode, thank you. I'll figure out how to use studio mode in the future so I can, like, put a BRB up on while I do that, or, like, a camouflage, like, you can't see me, I'm messing with things. And Akito says, I'm good, how are you, Rain? Oh, I'm glad to hear you're doing good. And I'm doing good. Obviously tech struggles per usual, but, that's not very abnormal, so... Gohan says in Mr. Krabs' voice, Mikage, my boy! Mikage, my Bob! I can't do a Mr. Krabs' voice, but pretend that was really, really good. And that I'm actually, what's it? Clancy Brown. Oh, lots of love in the chat. Gohan says, oh, good try. Pretends. Thank you. Yeah, I know, I'm so expert. I've actually been voice acting for many years. I have not. That was definitely sarcasm. I think voice acting sounds like a really fun endeavor, though. Let me get rid of this. I'm glad if we were playing Pictionary and the answer was studio mode in OBS, you guys would have all gotten it. Like, points for everyone. Yeah, I don't know who I'm actually decent at giving an impression on. I used to be good at doing a Mickey Mouse impression. I cannot do that anymore. I also have trouble getting to the right half of my screen, like here, wait, shoot, here onward, because my setup currently has like a Manaphy, like the Pokemon plushie, like holding up my phone, and it's on the right half of my screen, so I'm like, anything this point onward, I can't really touch, so everything's gonna be on the left side of the screen today. I'm gonna phone stand 1 point. Groen says, I'd love to hear you voice a character, even with just your normal voice. Oh, thank you! And Lenn agrees, thanks! I mean, like, I would totally if someone needed me to. I know that Sika was doing this thing where she was like, oh, like, I would love to do, like, voice acting, like, a dating sim with someone, or something like that, or, like, an Otome game. And I was like, hey, if you need, like, a little sibling character, apparently everyone says I've got little sibling vibes. So, I will totally be the little sibling character if you need it. But I also, like, oh man, I used to, like, voice games with friends all the time. And, it would be fun to just be, like, taking turns. So it'd be, like, if, like, Lenn and Akito and Crowan and, Gian were all in a room and they were all voicing the characters, they would just take turns. I don't know why if I needed to illustrate this is pretty specific, but... So, like, whenever, like, say Edgeworth would come in and his, like, frilly hair and his ascot and his angry face. Or, is it an ascot? He comes in and he's like, objection! And it's like the first time he's coming in. That's my really fast Edgeworth. Then like Lenn goes up first, so it's like, oh okay, well now this character is officially forever voiced by Lenn, and all dialogue from this character is voiced by Lenn. And then like the next character comes in and it's Phoenix Wright in his like really nervous face. And he's like, no, objection. When you give an ADHD person a pen, this is what happens. And like he comes in and he speaks like second, then it's like, oh well now Akito's gonna voice him, and like that just stays for the rest of the game. And like Phoenix Wright's such a good game to voice because there's so many different characters in it, so it's like, oh well the next character might be the person on the stand who's like innocent Larry Butts, and now he's voiced by Crowan, and like then like the attorney guy or the judge in the distance is voiced by Gian because they spoke fifth. And then this is Gian. Whoops, mixed the letters. And then whoever comes in next, if it's the guy with the glasses who's like, I'm sure he saw it. Which this is actually really out of order of the game because he doesn't come in when Edward does. Then it goes back to the beginning and then Lenn voices that guy. Which is kind of a flawed system because sometimes then someone will be voiced like all of the main characters at the same time because it just happens out to be that way that every fourth person is a main character. But like I like doing that because then it's like, oh, everyone gets to voice a different character with a different voice. But so I got so involved I missed some chat. But so I love your illustrations, LOL, thank you. Yeah, I guess I should frame this and post this afterward. This might be really relatable to everyone. But thank you. And then says, hi Akito! And Paul says, Yeah, Phoenix Wright. Yeah, Phoenix Wright. I've only ever played the first game, I think, but I own the first 3, so I'd love to play them all sometime. They're just a commitment, but they're a really good one. And, Cohen says ADHD gang. Yeah, honestly, I feel like this is how drawing streams go commonly for me, where it's like, I'm drawing, I drew 3 lines, alright, time to deviate. But I know we're at least gonna finish lines today. We got several hours, so we can do that. And Cohen says hi to Paul. And Akira says, hey yo, I'll be down to voice characters. Yeah, that'd be so fun! Maybe we'll have to do that with Phoenix Wright specifically someday, just because there are so many characters. And Cohen says, gives Larry a surfer accent. Honestly, sometimes I'll just have, like, the voice in my head before my turn comes around. Like, if I'm, like, the third person to voice, I'm like, whoever comes up next is getting a southern accent. And then it's, like, Maya. And it's like, alright, Maya's southern now. But, like, I make the voice in my head that I'm gonna give the next person before I know who it's gonna be. Because it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Anyone can have any voice. We're having fun with this. But Crowan says, hi. Or Ruger says, hi, Crowan. And Gian says, oh. And Lenn says, this is giving me flashbacks to when I played through all of Undertale in one sitting for my sister and voiced every character. Oh my gosh, yeah. Playing Undertale with Brevs, I voiced, like, most characters, but Brevs voices some of them. But there will be, like, a lot of sequences where I just voice for, like, a really long time. And Crowan says, rest in peace, voice. Yeah, right? That would take, like, a lot. Hopefully you hydrated. And Lenn said, luckily, that was before my streaming days, so I learned to never do that again. I don't know when I'll learn to, like, limit my speech. I talk too much. It never stops. And Crowan says, the deviation, yes, I feel so validated. Yeah, like, heck yeah, I know it's like, oh, this is a basic anime girl, so you can be like, hi, I just really wanted to be your friend. But you can also just be like, hey, I really love you, Hiro-kun. You're my best friend. And like, why not? Like, that'd be so fun. And, Gian laughs with us, haha. And Crowan says, I want to make Maya talk with a bunch of Ebonics and AAV, lol. Ebonics. Is that like when you do like the voice warbly thing? What? I don't know what Ebonics is. But Lenn says, mood though. Oh wait, no, Crowan said I want to make Maya talk with a bunch of Ebonics and AAV. Oh, that's right! Okay, I was like, Onyx makes me think of like electronics, and so I was like, like electric? Okay. Yeah, heck, why not? That'd be really fun. And Lenn says mood though, and yeah, Crone said it, African American vernacular, thank you. As I said, I am so bad with like letter things, like especially those ones that are like this is serious, like I know that, but like then there'll be ones that are like, and I'm like, what has an A, a J, and a K? And it's like, come on, guys. You know it's Animal Jesus' kid. Everyone knows that. And I'm like, no, I didn't. But, like, sometimes they're super duper normal. Like, I'll see BRB or whatever, and I'm like, what? But, like, that's what I call my startup thing. Oh, shoot. I accidentally closed out of everything for a second. Crowan's like, AJK, lol. Guyan's like, a jar koala. And Crowan's like, I didn't know OTL was a kneeling guy. Honestly, I have a picture on my phone at all times because I use that a lot. I'm defeated consistently. But I use that, like, OTL a lot, and I have a picture on my phone that, like, accurately explains it. Just so that whenever anyone asks, like, what are you saying? I'm like, alright, I have, like, a diagram, I'll show you. It's a guy on the ground, and if I don't have the picture on hand, I'm like, it's a position of defeat. It's a guy on the ground. But it just means I'm defeated. I'm defeated a lot because I have to work with technology a lot. And technology and I are not friends. We aren't even close. We have a lot of like childhood memories together, but they betrayed me. And they continue to do so at every turn because they don't like me. And you know what? The feeling's mutual. But we both exist with a mutual beneficial relationship. We're like a mutualism and a symbiotic relationship diagram. But, like, we don't like it. Rowan says, I thought aliens were more advanced. Not this one. I'm an alien that was raised on Earth, so I have no advancements or any, what is it? Advantages. I have 0 advantages. I don't know anything about space. I don't even know my own biology. I recently joked that I was made out of 80% milk instead of like 70% water because that's why I'm like this pale. Is because I don't have blood or water, I just have milk. Because I used to drink a lot of milk as a kid, but I never drank, like, any water, and I would pass out a lot as a result, but I just hated water so much. But who knows? I mean, maybe my species of alien doesn't need water, so we're only hydrating because my throat hurts. That's it. Everyone says, oh yeah, I thought aliens were more advanced. No, sometimes we're just really dumb. In my experience. And you just have a bunch of friends who are really, really good at technology. Not because they're good at technology, but you just happen to have friends who are way more patient and way smarter than you, and you're like, ah, thank you for existing and also being smart. You didn't have to be smart to be such a good friend, but I really do benefit from that as well, so thank you. People lend me their intelligence commonly. Especially when it comes to streaming stuff, I'm always like, how does that work? Like you saw with studio mode earlier. Cohen said, vegans hate this one alien streamer. Yeah, fuck water, drink milk. But no, not really. You should hydrate. I think most life forms actually do need water. And Gian says, I remember that I knew what the fuck meant. But the first time I read the TFW, then I thought it would mean, like, the fuck why? It was funny misinterpreting phrases like, TFW, you take the socks while in bed. The fuck why you take the socks while in bed. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, because it's that feel when, right? Like, that feeling when... Like, because I never actually looked that up, but I always just assumed that's what it meant. But I think for the longest time, I never questioned what that meant. I was just like, TFW, insert something relatable. And I never knew what TFW meant. But I think over time, I was like, that feeling when? Oh, okay, cool. It is that feeling when. I'm not gonna say, does blood count? LOL. You know, there's no milk in that, but at least there shouldn't be. But, was it like bilk? Blood milk? But, you know, I think blood's got, like, water in it, right? Like, that should hydrate, and I think most creatures need water, but not every creature, obviously. In your case, you are an exception, so that's pretty darn cool. I wish I was, because water sucks, and I don't like drinking it. But now that we've mentioned it, I guess I will take a sip. And Cohen says, that feel when you learn what that feeling when means and you use it wrong. Honestly, I feel like the template for it's so broad at this point, I have often questioned what TFW means because I've seen it used in such a variety of ways that I'm like, is it really that feeling when? I'm glad it is. But I can take a sip. And I'm back. Oh my goodness, I misplaced my pen in the 5 seconds I put it down. Okay, never mind, I got it. I look forward to having hand tracking someday. Just to show you guys how much my arms move. And like how much... Although I guess there's not really arm tracking. Man, it would be so cool to have like arm track. Because like sometimes I'll like raise my arms and like wave and stuff. And I'm like, that would be really cool to have that fully animated. Like a ball joint doll. But I hate technology. So you can imagine me and rigging do not mix. Alright. And this is where most artists say, so where's the lighting source? And this is where I say, what is lighting? If not just something to define all your shapes, and not suggest anywhere about where anything is coming from. I totally did lighting stuff in my, like, art school or whatever. I just did not retain any of the information, and yet when I graduated, they're like, damn, you did really good. And I'm like, I don't remember that. I blacked out, I learned things, and then I immediately forgot them all. That was my art school experience. Guy said, I heard some use the headset for head tracking their models. Ooh. That's cool. Like, I feel like head tracking's there's like a lot of solutions for that. I feel like for hand tracking, I'm kind of like, how do you... There's just so much to it. Like, I want to like, if I had to just sit here in a mocap suit, but you could somehow like see all of my arms moving and my shoulders moving and stuff, like that would be so epic. Like, that'd be so cool. I'd be super down. It'd be like having a puppet version of myself on screen and I just manipulate it. Which I guess is quite literally what a VTuber is. So some people aren't always VTubing as themselves, they're VTubing as characters, which is also really cool and takes a lot of creativity. Ooh. Wrong color. I am not that creative, but I do love character designing. Oh man, I don't have like a lot of... Oh wait, it hasn't changed this whole time? Spotify! It hasn't been changing the music this entire time. That bitch. This whole time it's been saying I've been playing freaking Zelda music. I have not. Midnight Manga. Elpis! Says there are many mocap modes that have armbands and wristbands, so you wouldn't have to have a full suit. Ooh. Okay, see, like, does that exist for VTubing? Because that would be so cool. Also, hey, Elpis, how are you? How's it going? And for anyone who needs a refresher course on who Elpis is, I have a picture on me from debut. This is Elpis! Also, yeah, I guess I also have a picture of Crowan, but he's not in his regular clothes. I actually have 2 different pictures of Crowan, but neither of them are in his regular clothes. Here's him cosplaying Kaito. And here's him cosplaying Guy. Guy Rockley. Might get their names confused sometimes. But... And then we have Lenn. And I actually have a picture of Akito, who's here too. I've drawn a lot of people, a lot more than I thought I did. But here's Akito, cool guy vampire. This is my rundown of everyone who's in chat right now. But Lenn says, we should go fight Spot. We should. I'm gonna beat him up. They're giving me so much trouble right now. I mean, they delayed my stream, they give me so much audio issues, and now they visually won't appear on my stream, and they keep saying that I'm listening to Zelda forever. Nelva says, hello, I'm good. Had to recover from 4th of July craziness. Oh my goodness. What'd you do on 4th of July? I can imagine, like, your family goes pretty hard with holidays. So, like, that sounds like it could have been intense, like a ton of family members visiting. My guess is a whole family gathering, and it was probably a lot. And so, I hope you've been able to, like, isolate and recoup on your own for a bit. Malka says, I love this one so much. I'm so glad! It was really fun to draw you, so, like, I feel like I just know a lot of people with really cool hair, and that's, like, my favorite thing to draw. And Rosaldia says, hope your Monday's going well, Rain. Hello, Rosaldia! I hope your Monday's going well. Oh man, I saw that you were streaming like Stardew Valley early this morning, and that you're doing that a lot this week, and I'm like, man, I hope I can catch one of those this week. I feel like starting the day with one of your streams in Stardew Valley sounds like such a nice time, but I also kind of want to go to Stardew Valley blind, because I've never watched anyone play it, like, fully, and I've never, like, played it myself, so I'm kind of like, should I, like, save the experience? But it seems like one of those things that's kind of like everyone's individual experience, so... Like, even if I watched someone play it, I probably would have a vastly different experience, and maybe I would just be stumbling around less if I watched someone play it. Elpis says, yes, exactly, more of them at once than I have seen in 7 years. Oh, woof, I've only been to a family reunion that big, like, once in my life, because always just traveling around the globe, but... Dang, those are, like, really intense. I'm glad if you've been able to recoup since. Watching any good anime or playing any good game to relax? Visaldia said, I think you should go play blind. I think the event cutscenes at least are nice to experience completely blind. Okay. Well, then maybe I'll just listen to it. I'll turn into one of your streams and then just, like, listen in the background and be like, this is a nice way to start the morning, because I feel like that is just such a nice way to start the morning. And actually, I think I have a drawing of Visaldia, too, inside my drawings list. Do I just have a drawing of everyone who appears here? Yes, except for Gian. I might need to make a drawing, just real briefly to express Gian. Where is my drawing of Visaldia? I know I have one. Maybe I did it on a different computer. I'll find it. We'll get it. We're detouring again. We'll find it. Twitter.com and Zarsha, I think is the tag. Yep, found it. Okay. It should not be there. Create from clipboard. Okay, cool. I have a drawing of everyone in chat, except for Gian, so I need to make one. And Elpis says, I would love to watch a blind playthrough. Thank you. I think that'd be fun. I mean, I've always only avoided it because it seems like one of those time sync things where I would get invested and not want to play anything else at all, but somehow Sonic Forces became that, so... I mean, I could be wrong. I could just play, like, a playthrough of it and be like, that was fun, and then leave. But... Rosaldia says, I love your drawing of me. I was so touched when you did it. Yeah, I didn't know you that well at that point, but I was just like, man, your design's so cool, and you just have such good vibes. I'm so glad you liked it. We'll have to do another one someday, because this was just, like, a style/color test, but I want to do one confidently, with confident colors and confident style. Gian says, my heart, melting. No, I'll draw you. Wait, hopefully it's melting in a good way. Gian is... Ms. Olja sends lots of hearts with a very cute person in the emoticon. Kudos to them. They're very cute. And thanks for the hearts. I was so distracted by how cute that person was. But hearts to you too. Alright. Gian like Gaia. Let me look up pictures of Gaia for reference. And I'm just gonna sketch this because I do want to finish Lenn's commission today, and at this rate I will not. But I'm gonna look up, if I just Google Gaia, and not Gaia Online, but just Gaia. Okay, so Gaia looks kind of like Earth. Oh wait, Gaia just means Earth, right? Guy says, gee, Rosalgia lurked your stream for a bit, and I bet you had a great time. Rosalgia's got such good vibes. I've been very lucky to meet quite a few really cool people. Okay, so Gaia's totally got Earth vibes. Alright, impromptu character design. I'll try to keep it simple, so that it's very, like, universal, because I don't know what you look like, Gian. But Rosalgia says, oh, thank you for stopping by. And Gian says, lovely vibes. And Rosalgia says, hearts. Aww. Alright. Oh, wait, I'm gonna give Kamini braids instinctually. I'm not gonna... You know, I haven't drawn Kamini. If Kamini popped in, I would not have a reference, which is surprising, because Kamini's awesome. But, okay. So let me see if I can just get the hair mapped out, and then maybe I'm gonna try to figure this out as fast as I can. I'm gonna make Gian really buff. Oh wait, Gian says, I'm usually a blue Cyclops. Now I guess I'll be green. Oh, neat! Well, blue's cool. I'll make Hex. I don't know your gender, but your gender is buff here. If you give me your gender, I will totally... Or, I guess gender has totally different body types. A lot of people would say that my body type is female, but for those who don't know, I am definitely male. But I just got hips and thighs that make people question their lives. Alright, so Cyborg, I'm gonna give you cool goggles, and this armor is gonna be like all cybernetic, and I'm gonna have friendly eyes, because Gian is very friendly, and bushy eyebrows, because I think those are cool. This is an impromptu character design, not at all meant to represent Gian and how they actually represent. This is just my way of adding them in real brief. Most audio says hips and thighs that make people question their lives should be on a hat or a t-shirt or something. Hey, if I ever make merch, I'll get there. I have definitely been there too many times. People seeing my name tag that says he, him at work and being like, astral projecting for a moment. Like, there's no way. And I'm like, no, I promise you, I am male. But do you really want to buy Harry Potter merch? Now I'm questioning you. No shit on people who like Harry Potter or buy Harry Potter merch. Just please buy it from Etsy and don't support J.K. Rowling. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Again, says it's been a minute and I love it so far. Oh yay! Maybe if I give cool dimples, or I don't know. Goodness. Sorry for the sneezes. Alright, so maybe I'll give you a cool vest that has like 2 tones. Guy says, bless you. Thank you. And like a cool patch that's the earth. I don't know how to draw the earth impromptu, but alright, now we're gonna do the very quick overlay, and I will very, very briefly try to color some of it. Zoe says, I know no sneeze feels cute, but those sneezes sounded cute. Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. I never thought too much about my sneezes, but I do think about my yawns sometimes. Brev's always like jokes about my yawns sounding like the ooh, 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 do 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 of I think it's Lon Lon Ranch from Zelda. Apparently my yawns always sound like the ooh part of that song, and I'm like, I don't yawn melodically, but Brevs would have you disagree. Okay. We got buttons, because jaded, or I mean not jaded, but biased. Buttons are very cool. We got cargo pockets, because when you're saving the Earth, you can never have too much storage. And we got, like, continents on top, we got continents on the side, we got continents going out this way. I think that's the Earth. Kind of. I've lived here, like, most my entire life, and yet I still don't really know what the Earth looks like. Guy says, oh, just found this clip from Girl DM talking about hand tracking. There's one made for hands that's $110. Oh my gosh! There's, like, hand tracking for hands, but it's $110? Dude, I'll just slowly and painstakingly learn how to do it myself at that point. Although, I don't know, I think it might be a worthy endeavor to save up for. But let me go ahead and cyborg arm. Cyborg arm. And we got bolts. But I always kind of wondered if there was like a template for hand tracking, because I have my hands rigged to get tracked. But I'm like, if someone just had a template, I could just throw my shit on top of it. But that is not how rigging works, I have learned. And, what speaks about the Earth? Maybe, like, plants? Gian says, let's save the planet! Yeah! This planet needs it. Maybe. Does this look like a plant? It looks kind of like really bad hearts, but it's supposed to be a plant. Gian, the Earth-saving cyborg. And... oh man, these kind of remind me of that one anime that was like super popular once upon a time. It's not Zamoto, it's like... Zatchbell! The like... that like mannequin mouth. Alright. And... we got cool locks of hair. Boop. Got some national park music. Yeah, that definitely screams saving the planet. Alright. 2 cyborg arms, because what's better than 1 cyborg arm? 2 of them. And, oh yeah, cool goggles, but they're built into the head because you're a cyborg, and that's really cool. Maybe also, like, antenna. I think antenna are super cool. I don't have any, but I'm really jealous of aliens that do. And robots. They usually have the coolest antenna. I guess snails also have antenna. Alright. Boop. And... see what I mean about definitely getting sidetracked? I don't think we're gonna doodle much today, but we might at least... I mean, I'm gonna be hanging around till 7, so we got like... is it 5? Like 2 hours and 20 minutes for me to draw and stuff like that. So I'm like, we'll definitely finish Lenn's commission, and then we'll probably, get at least the main sketch done for J-Rod's. Although, sketches are pretty hard, because even though I got the composition down, I do feel like getting all the details and stuff can be kind of difficult. Usually I, like, isolate to do that sort of thing. Guys, the cyborgs remind me of Planet Treasure. Love listening to Jim's theme in my random playlist. Ooh. I haven't listened to the music for that in, like, a really, really long time, but Planet Treasure is pretty rad. Or Treasure Planet? Is that the same thing? I'm thinking Treasure Planet, but I am not actually very well versed in things that aren't incredibly obscure anime no one's watched. It's a fault of mine. Or like the one season of Pokemon no one watched, X and Y. I mean, I'm sure people watched that. People really like Serena. But for some reason, it's like the one Pokemon season I know the most. A lot of people would argue that that's bad fanning. Being a bad fan. Alright. How do I make this more cyborgy? Maybe with, like, really cool headphones. And I could have said X and Y was your favorite. X and Y is your favorite too? Dude, it's such a good season! Like, honestly, the, like, supportive nature of Ash's friends in that is like, I'm such a sucker for it. And Masalji says, Rain, I still love that you love Oofuri. I have met so few people who have watched it. Dude, I love Oofuri. It's so good. Like, honestly, like, I don't know if it's just because I'm like, I also have a diamond mouth, and I relate to the main character who always has, like, a bird mouth like me. But, like, the art of it's so good, and, like, the companionship of it good. Like, honestly, why X and Y is such a good Pokemon season is because the companionship and the supportive nature of Ash's friends in that season is so contagious, and it's so kind. And Oofuri has the same vibes, where it's just, like, so friendly and so kind. This all just says extremely underrated sports anime. Yeah, Big Wind Up or Oofuri what is it? Oofuri Furikabate. That is like a really, really good sports anime. I think it's Oofuri Furikabate. I might be putting too many foodies in there. Okay, so that is it. Thank you. Oh, Kiku Furikabate. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, so there's that, and then you can also call it Big Wind Up. Big Wind Up. I never watched season 2 though, so I'm sorry if that's a letdown. If it's really good, you have to let me know, because then I will totally go rewatch it and watch season 2 too. I was thinking there's too many foodies in what I wrote down. But we just call it Oofuri for sure. And sure, and yeah, you should be able to find that anime just looking up Oofuri. It's so cute, it's so sweet. Like, I just feel for all the characters. I used to listen to the soundtrack to that relentlessly. If that were on Spotify, you bet it would be on this playlist. Guys, it's first time hearing about that series. Just googled, and gosh, the characters are adorable. I know! And it's just like such good friendship, and like, depending on what lens you're using, a little bit of romantic chemistry. But like Kidney was like, oh my god, the pitcher and the catcher are totally gonna date. But it's been a long time since I've seen it. I still get those vibes heavily from the theme song, which the theme song, oh, it's so good. A boy meets a girl, or a boy meets Yume, toza sareta, yo wa ga aite iku, hora ima, datsu ga start to mata cheek cheek tamarana so midnight. I messed up the words, but it doesn't matter because the song and the melody are so good and awesome. I recommend watching that anime. Rizalgia says season 2 ends on a heartbreaking cliffhanger, so if you haven't read the manga, I don't recommend. It's a real bummer. I think they thought they were getting a season 3. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know. I really appreciate the insider. But makes me kind of want to get the manga now. That and the Nozaki-kun manga, because that would be such a good time. But Gian says, insert glow stick emoji here. Yeah, dude, it's such a good, like, oh, even if you don't watch the anime, please look up the theme song. It is like summer in a nutshell. It is so friendly. It is so, like, energetic. And it's just so, like, my heart melts with the music of that anime. Like, even just the background music is so good. Alright, let me see. So, got cool headphones. They're not blatant ripoffs of Vocaloid headphones, so don't come at me. don't call me out. But let me see. I feel like I could do more cool ass cyber stuff. Maybe I'll make one of the eyes like cybery. But I don't know if that'll be too much to look at. Okay, I think we'll stick with it. And now let's do really brief colors. Or at least I'll color the hair, because I think that would be fun. I'll color in the blues. Oh, I guess the whole character could be blue. I never thought about it. Okay, I'm gonna color everything real quick, and then I'll go over that color with everything else. And then I'll have a drawing of everyone who is in chat today. As of 4:44 p.m. It's a curse time. Alright. Fill bucket. Thank the world for a fill bucket. This is my favorite version of this song. Guidance says, gosh, you work so fast. Oh, thank you. People used to say that in art school, but I feel like I have to access, like I have to like tap into a meditative level of not giving a fuck to like do it fast, because otherwise you get 4 lines of color and you're like, I redid these lines so many times and I feel so slow. But then like, oh yeah, let me close out of this. And close out of this. I got a lot of tabs open. I would like to work fast, but yeah, sometimes I get so meticulous that I feel like I'm not as fast as I'd like to be. But I really appreciate it, because that does bring my confidence up for drawing, so thank you. Let me see. This is also blue. And maybe I should make that like a nice teal. Man, there are so many colors I could do. I'm overwhelmed with the options. I think maybe lowering the saturation here. Should I get a darker blue or a lighter blue? It's hard. Gian says, Rain playing God and making Gian, making your visual form. It's a pleasure. Let me change those lines to blue. And I will make this just a lighter blue. Or I guess I can make it like dark. Let me see. Changing everything to blue. I heard the word blue and I just ran with it. Let me see. Not brightness and contrast. Give me that hue and saturation. There we go. And we'll just make it slightly lighter than that. I feel like the cool, like, blacked out pupils are neat. Not for any specific reason. It's not because I have them or anything. It's just I think blacked out pupils are very cool. Very robot-y, very alien-y. Did I say alien-y? I just meant robot-y. It has no relation to me whatsoever. Alright. And maybe I'll reduce sketches around here. And get those eyebrows in. But goodness, my roommate Brevs actually draws really, really fast, and she is a professional animator, so it works in her favor really well. I'm very impressed by all of her work. And honestly, it's really nice, because sometimes she'll be like, man, all my coworkers are, like, being really nice. They say I'm, like, really fast. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad that they're acknowledging this, because you're super talented. I'd love to share some of Rev's work someday, but a lot of the stuff that she works on is, like, on, is it DNA? When there's, like, a contract or something and you can't show everyone? 'Tis the life of an animator, I suppose. Which is what I went to school for, is to learn how to animate, but you guys will probably never see me animate because I think it is the most tedious, mind-numbing process that makes me feel very dark things. So it just says NDA. Oh, DNA. Oh, is it DNA? Like the biological human, like, genetics and stuff. Non-disclosure agreement. Yeah. Gian says, when the anime cliffhanger is better than the manga ending. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I totally got distracted from the conversation on Oofooty. What happened? But yeah, Oofooty's so cool. It's such a good time. And I definitely recommend anyone check it out if they get the chance to. But I guess not season 2, because unless you're reading the manga. But I'd love to get the manga. Honestly, Ergo recommended Nozaki-kun to me, and I've really wanted to read the manga ever since. My birthday is this August, and I put it on my birthday list for my mom, because she used to, when I was like first an adult, because I am an adult, and I have been for several years, several being a term used ambiguously, but when I was first an adult, she was like, oh, I can give you money for your birthday, because you're an adult now and you can buy your own stuff. And I was like, that's fair. And honestly, you don't even have to give me money for your birthday. I mean, like, you raised me for like 18 years and then helped me get through college, so you really don't have to get me anything. And she's like, no, I'll still send you money. I just probably won't be giving you gifts anymore. And I was like, okay. And then last year, all of a sudden my mom was like, actually, do you have a gift list? Is there things you want? And I was like, sure. So I think she was visiting me around my birthday, so she like wanted to actually have something to see me open. And ever since, I've just had this, like, recurring birthday list, and she's like, okay, I know what to get you for Christmas, and I'm like, okay, I know what to get you for, like, your birthday coming up, and stuff like that, and, so does Brev's mom, because I married into Brev's family, and they also give me presents, but they, now everyone has a really consistent gift list for me, and it's, I guess, convenient for everyone, because they're like, okay, I'm not sending you money anymore. I'm like, but it sounds like a lot more effort to send me gifts, and, like, I don't want anyone to, like, go so far out of their way to, like, have the effort of picking out what gift they want to get me and stuff. Like, that sounds like a lot of work. But, sure enough, my mom actually prefers it. She's like, if you've got a list, then I'd rather send you gifts than money, because I guess it's nice. She knows I'm not spending it on, like, grocery money. She's like, I can actually make sure you get some stuff that you are happy with on your birthday. Though grocery money is also cool, not to be underrated. Eating is fun. And then I can put the clouds in the sky and the eyes. This is... Rosaldia says, gift lists are very handy. Oh, right? Like, I actually have a handier tool. Secret, life hack. I actually, when I meet a lot of people, I'm like, do you promise to never give me gifts on my birthday or during holidays? And I promise to never give you birthday gifts or holiday gifts. And we will just give each other gifts like other times of the year if we feel like it, but we never feel obligated to give each other scheduled gifts. And like, I've made that pact with so many of my friends where I'm just like, don't ever give me gifts on scheduled times of the year. Just do it if you feel like it and you saw something that reminded me of you. Because like, I think having scheduled gifts can be really stressful for people, and it used to be really stressful for me in college. So... I have definitely asked people to not sign, like, literally, but, like, mentally sign that agreement with me. And, it's been beneficial sometimes. But at this point, it's just because I give gifts to people year-round, where I'm like, oh, I thought of you, bam, here you go. And it's like, I could technically just wait till their birthday and give that to them. But I just like giving gifts year-round, instead of doing it on a specific day. And then just, like, giving them really nice sentiments on those specific days if they're important. But Gian says, love the Amazon wish list. Very helpful when wanting to give something to relatives. Yeah, my relatives like it. So I'm happy to do it. Every now and then I'll be like, ooh, a Raikou plushie going on the Amazon wish list. That's the one thing I really, really want for my birthday this year, is I hope someone bought the Raikou plushies before they got sold out. But frankly, if they didn't, like, it's whatever. Like, I'm not going to be devastated. I have a lot of Pokemon plushies I really like. But that Raikou plushie was so cute. That's my number one wishlist item. But they are sold out, which means either they bought it and that sold it out, or they did not buy them in time. And you know what? That's okay. Because the thing I'm really getting for my birthday is that my mom is, like, flying me out to go see her. So I'm like, that's awesome. Rosalia says, my husband and I just started asking for edible gifts for all holidays, so we get lots of nice teas, honeys, jams, vinegars, etc. Dude, I would totally love to go to your place for tea and, like, jam and stuff like that, because, like, I just imagine it is, like, the most comforting cottage of, like, jams and teas and stuff like that. Like, it just sounds like such a nice, comforting time. Like, when everyone does their, like, really cool getaways to, like, rural niceties, I feel like the, like, nice cottage vibe, you've, like, achieved it. And I'm like, that's so nice. Gian says, OMG, help, my YouTube recommendation is getting filled with Big Iron memes. Big Iron? I'm afraid I'm not familiar with this meme. Vinegars? Not ringing any bells. I am also out of the loop of, like, a lot of memes pretty regularly. I am, someone that people would say doesn't have a really big sense of humor. I think some things make me laugh really, really hard, and I like them a lot, but it's pretty rare that I find something super funny, so meme culture usually just goes over my head. I try, though. I've been trying to think of, like, redeems and stuff I want to do for, like, bits and, like, what audio clips I'd like to use, and I'm like, I wish there was, like, a sound clip that just made me laugh all the time, but a lot of them are just incredibly niche, like, inside jokes I have with my friends, and I'm like, I don't know if I can make those redeems. People will be like, what the heck is this redeem? Rosalie says, haha, that was our ultimate goal. I've got a long way to go to make the home as tidy and decorated as I'd like, but someday. Aw, well, I hope you can get there. I hope your house can be a place that you're super proud to be in and super, like, comfy to live in. And we're almost done with Gaia, and then we'll have a visual representation of everyone. Should I just get rid of this? Yeah, okay, we'll just get rid of the sketch underneath, because I was like, is it contributing to the form? And basic highlights. Oh no, I really think that this song is one of those ones that we cannot play. I don't know why it's still on my list. Let me get rid of that on my list. And move forward. Whoops. there was a song earlier that was playing while I was testing audio that I was like, this should not be on my list anymore because I'm pretty sure I got flagged for that one. So we might have that part, hopefully not get audio muted or anything like that, but YouTube will probably pick up on it and be like, hey, this isn't your song. Like, well, none of these are. Alright. We get this green everywhere. And get this green. Whoops, wrong green. And more green over here. Alright. And let me just go ahead and color this real quick. This was a little bit of a side tangent, but it was fun to do. So thank you guys for tagging along as I drew Gaia as a robot. Let me see if I should do any glow effects. But basic glow effects without a lot of effort can be not as pretty as we'd like them to be. Let me see. Over here. Boop, boop. And there we go. Gian says, yay, am cyborg. Yeah! There we go. I'll write your name here. But there, let me see. That is a very strong color. There we go. Boop. Some people are so good at making these little lines. I am not. It doesn't need lines. And we're going to save that. Export PNG. Gaia. Now to the task on hand. No, I'm not saving this file. I'm just going to save it as a PNG. Oh, and I'll go ahead and go out of here. But I do have to go use the restroom. So I will go ahead and BRB. Because Spotify's giving me a lot of beef, I hope the music stays up while I'm gone, but I am not certain of it. Guy says, you can't have a bad line when there is no line. Exactly! Hook the line! But I'll be right back. Try to be quick. Alright, and we're back. Hopefully with all audio intact and without any strikes. Man, I'll never forget that one time that I just got that whole segment muted because I left and there was a song playing that was definitely copyrighted, and Twitch was like, why would you do that? It's like, I don't know, I'm sorry, but it totally looked like I just played that song with like without any alterations for like a really long time. Lenn says, welcome back! Welcome back! Or, I said, welcome back, Lenn! I'm the one who just came back. Thank you! I meant thank you. Oh, yeah! So, Revenants and I were saying we're like alternate world versions of each other. This seems like a really random conversation, but I was just thinking, like, Lenn's got such like nice blue colors. And I was like, wait, is that the alternate I was looking for? And this will come into play. The answer is no. But I was thinking, Revenants and I have talked about how we like joked about like, oh hey, I'm like alternate world you, I'm like the yellow version of Revenants, and Revenants is blue. I do not have a picture of Revenants actually to reference, but unlike everyone else. But his theme is blue, and I'm like, he's the blue version of me, I'm the yellow version of him, I'm the alien version of him, and he's the ghost version of me. The joke is basically just that I don't know if it's any entertainment for anyone to have a joke explained to them, but we said that because I like milk and I'm the youngest child. He likes milk and he's the youngest child. But after that, we were both just like, oh my god, we're like the same person. We need to find someone whose theme is red, because then we'll have the primary colors like red, yellow, and blue. Who also is the youngest child who likes milk. And so I'm on the hunt for anyone who's got red themes, likes milk, and is the youngest child. Oh, Gian redeemed. Make rain say what you want. It's not about the copyright. It's about the Mets. Baby, love the Mets. Alright, baby, let's go get a home run, baby. Let's go Mets. The Mets? Is that your favorite? I mean, my mom really liked the New York Yankees. Is that like the Yankee light? Like the Mets? Tell me if you need more enthusiasm there. I can shout it. Maybe I need another redeem for shouting. I'll totally shout it if you need. Let's go Mets! Yankee Light. Let's go Yankee Light version. No dogging on the Mets. I'm sure they're really, really hard workers. And Lenn said, love the Mets joke. And Gian said, go Pipe! I don't know if I get the joke, but I'm glad Lenn did. I hope others do too. Oh, give hype. Okay, give hype. It's not about the copyright. It's about the Mets. Baby, love the Mets. Alright, baby, let's go get a home run, baby. Let's go Mets! There we go. There's my hype version. Hope all the Mets out there feel real hyped right now. They're like, wow, somewhere across the galaxy, someone is cheering for me. I was never, well, believe it or not, I was never super duper knowledgeable about baseball. But the only reason that's probably strange at all is because when I was in middle school, my whole bedroom was decked out in baseball memorabilia. I just never really watched it. But I liked it because my dad liked it. My dad was a Red Sox fan. Which, for those who also don't know much about sports, they are the arch nemesis of the Yankees, which was my mom's favorite. So a lot of people, like, whenever they liked sports and I told them that, they'd be like, oh my god, your parents are married? And, like, one's a Yankees fan and one's a one's a Yankees fan and one's a Red Sox fan. But I always just wanted to get closer to my dad. Like, and, like, understand his interests. He really liked sports, and I never really was super into them. I was more of, like, the artistic child. And then, like, the sporty child. I wasn't, except none of his kids ended up being really athletic. We had musically talented children, visually talented children, and written talented children, but none of us were really particularly, like, intrigued or gifted in the athletic ways. But I was like, oh man, I want to, like, be, like, friendly with my dad and get his interest. So when I was in middle school, I was like, you know what? I always want to be like my dad, so I'm gonna go ahead and deck out my whole room in baseball memorabilia. My whole room was Red Sox themed. I had a Red Sox blanket, Red Sox pillows, Red Sox sheets, like the whole bed set. I had, like, Red Sox posters all along my wall. I had a Red Sox calendar. I had, like, when you, like, have the two dangly things from the fan to change the fan speed, or, like, turn the light on and off, they were baseballs, and my fan was spray painted red. And I had, like, everything Red Sox. My room was so, like, I even had a Red Sox, like, light switch. It was really intense. But Lenn says, so long as he wasn't a Dodgers fan, JK, JK. I don't know who the Dodgers are. But again, a joke that I think will be cherished by all the sports fans out there. I feel like I can see the Dodgers logo, and this shows how much of an art nerd I am, is that I can imagine all the logos and mascots of these places, but I cannot tell you much about them. Except, Derek Jeter was a Yankee and now he's not, or something, and then, like, Ted Williams was a legend for the Red Sox, and, like, Babe Ruth was, like, a Red Sox guy, and then, like, the Yankees took him or something, and then, like, the Red Sox kept losing, and it was, like, a curse. There's a bunch of stuff. Oh, yeah, and then there was this one pitcher who I thought was the coolest guy ever. I always thought the pitchers were so cool. He, like, had, like, a bloody sock in the Red Sox. It's, like, a red sock, haha. But his, like, foot was bleeding and everything like that, and he still pitched, and he did, like, a really great job. I used to know his name because he was, like, a hero. Rosaldia says, the Red Sox versus Yankees rivalry is especially bitter. Some rivals are more friendly, but those two have some very involved fans. Oh, yeah. I've, only been to one baseball game, but it was a Red Sox versus, the Angels, I think? It was alright. But, I've seen so much, like, bitterness between those two fans. So, what's interesting is that my parents used to be kind of, like, jokingly like, ah, fuck you, haha, fuck you, because, like, mine's really cool, and yours is not, sort of thing. Like, petty fighting. But, now they actually don't really, like, my dad still likes baseball, but my mom doesn't, because my mom found hockey. And now she really likes the Capitals, in the hockey. And my dad likes the Capitals, too, but he also likes Bruins, because he's a Boston man. But they both like hockey a lot. And my dad will both root for the Capitals and the Bruins. But if it comes between one or the other, and, like, they're in the playoffs together or whatever, he will root for the Bruins over the Capitals, because he's like, well, that's my hometown. Like, I'm from Boston. And since baseball is the one sport I love and I'm invested in, so I'm loving this discourse, not gonna lie. Yeah, I wish my mom still liked it, because now when my dad's like, haha, my Red Sox beat your Yankees, she's just like, okay. She's like, oh, okay, whatever. Insert my dad's name. But I don't think I have any other relatives who are super into sports. I have some relatives in Colorado, so I get to hear about, like, that one guy who's, like, really, is it Tom Brady? Who's in the Broncos? in the football? All I know is that when I go to Colorado during a sports day, everyone wears orange for the Broncos. I actually have a Broncos jersey because I visited, but it's a little small. It was just really cute. I like the colors. Orange and blue just go well together. Which reminds me of, I feel like black, yellow, and white is the colors I've seen the most for any group ever. Because I feel like every time growing up, every, like, school colors would be black, yellow, and white. I don't know why that was such a huge trend. They're really cute colors, not gonna lie. I mean, I'm biased, but I think black, yellow, white's really cool. My school colors, I think, were gray, dark purple, and dark blue. So it was a very subdued palette. I don't know why my school... I think it was because that was the color of the bleachers we had. And we all just stuck with it. But... because, like, and it might sound like, Rain, you really think the bleachers came before your school colors? And yes, I do, because I was actually... my high school was only 1 year old when I joined it. Like, it was like a weird private school thing. And it was, like, super new, so they didn't have a mascot and they didn't have any school colors, so I got to see those things get formed. And, like, I remember there was a poll going on in the school, like, do you want an eagle or do you want a white tiger mascot? And I don't know why those were our only two options, but we ended up becoming the white tigers, which was pretty cool. And then, like, eventually we, like, among the students discussed what our school colors should be, and they stuck. So, that was pretty cool. Lynn says, my mom's family is from Denver, so I can relate on that front. Oh, the orange! Dude, orange is one of my favorite colors, if not, like, tied for my first favorite. So, like, I was okay if I visited Colorado and it was just all orange. Specifically Denver. Denver is such a cool place. I love being there. But Gian says, Pog! Yeah, it was cool to see the school, like, go from the ground up. But, Adrian and I went to the same school. And, so did Adrian's older sibling, who I've drawn before. If you guys need visual reference, I do have pictures of them. This is Adrian's older sister. This is Adrian. I went to school with them growing up, and, technically, Gig was the first year ever of the school that I went to. Like, the first, like, test 0, they were the guinea pigs for that school system. It was pretty cool to see. But, also kind of a train wreck, because they didn't know how to organize anything, they didn't know how to do much, it was like a very baby school. So, it was kind of chaotic, but it also did promote a lot of freedom. I once dropped out of my class without them knowing, because I didn't need that class, and I was about to graduate, and I was like, why are you guys giving me extra work? And they're like, 'cause we want to. And I was like, that's lame. So I, like, went around the system and dropped out of the class, and they were super pissed, but there wasn't anything they could do about it, because I already dropped out of the class. And, like, I just withdrew from it, like, on my own, without, like, the school's permission. It was really weird, but it worked out. It's really hard to explain how it worked out, but it did. And that's how I ended up just taking one single class in my senior year, spring semester of high school. But I bet they have a fail system in place, like, oh, we'll suspend you if anyone, like, I probably made a rule there. We'll suspend you if you suddenly, like, withdraw from one of your classes without school permission. But it was really cool. I think I just didn't do the syllabus, and if you don't do the syllabus online, then, like, the class automatically withdraws you, and I just did that for, like, all my classes that weren't the one I needed. And they were like, what the fuck, you're supposed to be taking 4 classes right now. I'm like, it's the springtime of my youth. It's the last semester of high school, and you're making me take bullshit classes I don't need to graduate. So I'm just gonna take the one I need. And they're like, bring your parents in here and so we can tell them how rude that was. I was like, okay. And then my parents came in, they were like, you really shouldn't have done that without the school's permission, but it is pretty bogus that they, like, were trying to force you to do so many classes you didn't need. And I was like, okay, well, you agree, but you also hated that you had to come out here for them to just chastise me in front of you. Which is fair. But, yeah, now they probably have a rule in place because of me. And they'll be like, why do you have that rule? Yes. The second year we were open, this kid just broke out of the school. I guess it was technically the 4th year because I graduated that year. But 4 years in, this kid decided to just withdraw without asking anyone. It was a fun time. I kind of like the freedom of that school, but yeah, I bet it's a lot more rigid and hard to make it your own experience now. It's probably more like an actual school. Responsible. At least I hope so. Gosh, they were struggling. The guy says based. Thank you. I make the rules at this school. It's kind of how it felt. Like, they had club days, but I felt like if I just walked off campus and went to the nearby library, they wouldn't have done anything about it. Because they had such a hard time keeping track of students from building to building. There weren't even a lot of us. I literally graduated in a class of, like, barely over 40 students. Do I want lip shadow? Let's see. No. Yes? It's actually a hard decision. I think I like the top lip shadow. I'm not sure how much. We'll keep it for now and come back. A little shadow here, a little shadow there. I think we're done with the skin shadow. Potentially. I'm having trouble accepting this one over here. Like, it's not curved enough. Gian says whitelisted song? Oh, the song here now? Whitelisted as in, like, you can't read what it is? Because I think it's called Useless Child by Kikuo. Or whitelisted as in, like, oh, will this, like, get me caught or something? I don't know. It is a Kikuo song. I feel like I totally took off several songs on this playlist that just didn't get removed for some reason. But I don't know. Is Kikuo more in this list more than once? Okay, I actually still have all of my Kikuo songs, so I'm assuming they didn't actually get taken off. It looks like Kikuo, Hachi, and Wowaka are still here. But it definitely, with the art playlist, it's always like, we'll see if, like, this ends up screwing me over. But honestly, I'll just end up not getting monetized, and that's fine. But it is a process of, like, once I upload it to YouTube, and YouTube's like, you have this song, and this song, and this song, and this song, then I do end up going to remove those from the playlist. I could have missed these when I was doing that. Super possible, because when I did it the first time, I did have to remove, like, 2.5 hours of music, deliberately, each song at a time. And Gian says, not only game OST are good to go. That's been, like, proven mostly, that game music is, like, decent, but for some reason there are just a couple Vocaloid producers whose music didn't get caught last time that I, like, recorded and posted it to YouTube. And I don't know if it's because they're not, like, protecting these specific songs, because there's also, like, some Poa Poa P songs that, like, didn't get hit, but just for safety precautions, I did take all of the Poa Poa P songs off. So, like, I did the same thing with Eve. Not all of Eve's music got hit, but just in case, I took off every single Eve song. So, like, we'll see if Kikuo or Wowaka or Hachi get taken up, like, next time around. Like, maybe YouTube just couldn't hear it very well. And, like, they pick up on it this time, and they're like, oh, we hear it now. Like, we're taking it off. Then I'll go ahead and remove them from the playlist. I'd like to keep some Vocaloid music on here, but I understand if it's just not accessible. Like, you gotta buy the tracks or give them listens or whatnot. Alright. Maybe... Nah, that needs to be colored. I think... Got the skin colored. Let me see if it's contrasting enough. Yeah, I think it's pretty contrasted. Okay. Then... Oh man, I like this song. But now Spotify's giving me that beef where it's not gonna tell me the song that's playing. There we go. Monkey's Delivery Service. It's from Mother 3, I think? But it's such a good time. Yeah, hopefully. We'll only get more input with time on what goes in and what goes out. Something tells me I'm never actually going to have an art stream with music that doesn't get caught. But it's not going to be Beat Saber levels of, like, I cannot. Like, when I do Beat Saber streams, they're going to be live only, never get recorded, never get produced, never be a VOD. So if I ever do Beat Saber streams, they will just be live exclusively. And if you make it, you make it. But, like, it's only because I can't monetize or, like, I will totally get, like, a copyright strike or something, I feel like, if I listen to that many custom songs in a row. So it's like, I'll do it live, but I'm definitely not gonna try to make anything off of it. Which, honestly, if Twitch just did this thing where it's like, hey, like, we're gonna make sure you can't make money on anything ever, I would be like, okay. Like, I'm not really doing it for that reason. I have the luxury of not doing this as a career. I have a lot of admiration and respect for those who do. Because this takes, like, a lot of diligence or whatever to, like, make sure, like, you're, like, streaming and always, like, being, like, at your best and stuff like that. And, like, make sure you're not breaking any rules. But I'm kind of like, I have the luxury of just doing this for fun, I guess. And so I don't super mind if Twitch was just like, no money for you. I'd be like, okay, can I still have redeems though? Because I feel like that genuinely makes it a more fun time for everyone around if they can, like, do redeems. That's the only reason I really wanted affiliate. Is because I'm like, what? Redeems make it such a more interactive experience for everyone. I just need all of my really tech-talented friends to tell me how the heck I'm gonna utilize them the best, because I'm like, there's so many things I want to do that I'm just like, I have no clue how that works. But I have a lot of friends who got really cool redeems, so I'm like, surely you can help me find out how the heck to do the cool things. So right now I just have the ones that I was able to, like, write down. And not actually, like, program anything. Gian redeemed Gian, yeah? Roger that! Will do! Thank you for the redeem, yeah? And it is currently 5:17, yeah? So we have until... Oh my god, I'm not this bad at math, yeah. I promise I did really good in my classes, yeah. 5:22, yeah? So I'll be saying yeah until 5:22, yeah. Thank you for the redeem, yeah? Actually, when I was in middle school, I was, like, a huge fan of this anime called Tokyo Mew Mew, yeah? Oh, no. Shigokera, yeah. Both really good, though. Yeah. In Shigokera, there's a character named Yuri, and they always say nya at the end of every sentence, so I used to actually post online with nya at the end of every sentence. So when I first saw Ergo, and I think Kudono do a nya redeem, I was like, dude, I used to do that I used to nya redeem for free in middle school, nya. So I am super happy that they let me steal their nya redeem, nya. It's been a long time, yeah, but it takes me back to the past, yeah. Also, I think a really common, like, redeem is the, like, ara redeem, yeah? I don't understand it, yeah? I'm very asexual, so maybe that's why, yeah? But there are some voices that I hear and I'm like, woof, that's a nice voice, yeah? So, like, I guess I can get, like, the idea, but I think the reason I'm like, I don't know if I feel like if someone ever just like, can you say ara, I'd be like, okay, because, like, I don't really have a sultry, beautiful voice. I have, like, the voice of every Toto from every anime. Like, I am the little sibling character. I don't know if you want to hear them say ara, nya, but, I mean, I think that's one of those things I'm like, I'll do it, nya. Whatever, I don't know if I'd ever make it a redeem, though, nya. Guy says, there should be a date base for VTuber assets / redeems. Oh, like a database, yeah. There's lots that go viral on Twitter, but then disappear, yeah. Oh, what? That's so lame! There should totally be a database for those things, yeah. Like, I have, like, this model with and without coat, yeah, and I would totally love to have a redeem where it's like, remove the coat, yeah? I mean, especially if it's, like, summer. Like, I don't need the coat, yeah? And I have, like, a really static image, yeah, of, what I look like without the coat on. Here we go, yeah. Just a really simple under attire, but it's not like super revealing, yeah, so I wouldn't mind if people just took off the coat, and I feel like that'd be fun. Like, I love things like that. Like, Hamini has removed glasses, yeah, and I would love that. And if I could have like cat ears at some point, yeah, because I love Catboy characters, but I unfortunately do not have cat ears, yeah. I can shapeshift, in which case, I would love to shapeshift to have cat ears in my model too, yeah. I also have like a human form, and I'd really like to make that a redeem someday, but that's like down the line, because in my human form my hair is like a lot wavier, yeah, and I don't have stars in my hair, yeah, and I have pupils, yeah, which is a whole level of programming, yeah. And Gian says, love the head pat one and the Twitch integrated throwing system, yeah. Oh yeah, that one's so cute! I honestly thought it'd be cute to have like little hearts, or maybe just everyone throws umbrellas at me, yeah. That'd be really fun. And shapeshift Pog. Thank you, Nya. I can basically turn into anything I want, Nya, but the closer it is to my actual form, which is the one you're looking at, Nya. The closer it is to my actual form, the easier I can hold it for a longer period of time, and the less suspicious it'll be. So my human form's like really, really fucking similar to this one, yeah. So I try to like keep it pretty similar to my actual base, but I can technically like, I mean, I could totally turn into Lenn Liana, yeah, but if you, like, went up and tried to, like, I don't know, put the hair into a ponytail, it's not really there. It's just a kind of trick of the light situation. So if you're like, oh, hey, Lenn, and then you, like, go to brush her hair, but it's me, I'd be like, oh, it's just gonna phase through, bro, yeah, like... Oh, and it is 5:22. Nya redeemed and Yan complete. But... yeah, I guess if I was someone with long hair, like, I don't actually have long hair, and I can't just, like, manifest... It's interesting. It's, like, the difference between shape-shifting and then, like, visual augmentation, I guess? So, like, if I turn into, like, an eldritch god, or, like, a giant octopus, like, that's so different than from what I am, and if someone were to try to reach out to it, like, none of it would actually work. So, it's more like, I guess, illusionary or trick of the light, but... if there's one thing I know with technology, it's how to shapeshift. It is not how to stream. I don't know why, but the assets I was given growing up were not very applicable to everyday life. I usually just shapeshift into a human form, go to work, and do my regular daily stuff. But it sounds like it would have, like, I always see in, like, superhero shows and stuff where it's like, oh, cool, this character totally just, like, shape-shifted into the coach or whatever, but it's like, I'm not looking to get caught. Like, I don't usually use shape-shifting for nefarious purposes, but the fact that I can stream as, like, my genuine alien self, I feel like it would be fun to get more out of shape-shifting and, like, I don't know, show everyone all the things I can do. It's a complex life being a shapeshifter. Shobra would understand. He's a really cool shapeshifter too, and I also have a picture of him. This is Shobra. Shobra requested that I draw them as me, like when they shapeshift into me. But Shobra, the difference is, they're like a shadow creature, so they're usually like all black but with yellow eyes. And they're like, can you draw me shapeshifting into you so all the pigment would be gone, sort of thing? Also, I think they had the hat that I'm supposed to have in that picture, but I hate technology, and hats hate me, and technology hates me. So the hat that's supposed to be on my head is not programmed yet. I don't know if it ever will be. Programming a hat seems like a bitch. And Gian says, oh, yeah, Shobra's cool. But yeah, they shapeshift too. It's pretty rad. Right. We are making good time. We got through the skin, which can be one of the more complicated things. And now we're on to the clothes, which is probably the most complicated thing. So once we're through with the clothes, we'll be a good way through here. Yeah, I feel like definitely I was streaming once with Udi, which I do have a picture of Udi, and I can pull that up too. This is Udi. I was streaming with Udi one day, And we were talking about how like on stream art gets done so much slower because it's like I'm just so like I'm having so much fun. I just want to draw so many things. Like my mind is all over. But Yuri also has ADHD, and I feel like maybe that's a larger issue than anything else on streaming. Because I think I was even playing Sonic Forces the other day, and I just ended up stopping the whole playthrough to be like, guys, I need a rant about Tokyo Mew Mew New. Lenn says, my dress can be a pain, so I apologize in advance. Oh no, it was wonderful to draw. I love the like marks on it and stuff. But shading fabric is like a whole different beast from shading like skin, because skin's like, I guess there's a lot less like receding shapes and stuff like that, and things like melding together. And I don't do a lot of like fancy folds or anything like that in clothing, so I'm very lucky about that. But there's just like so much more like texture and I guess different lighting I feel like in clothing. And I'm definitely not the lighting master, but I do feel like it takes like a little bit more. But yeah, fabric in general is a pain. not yours specifically. I always like your details. This is so true. For me, clothes are the hardest to shade after the hair. Oh, I love shading hair so much. That is my favorite. That is the cherry on top of the cake. So I save it for last. Because like seeing the hair get like, what is it called? Rendered? Rendering the hair and seeing that happen. Which, speaking of, this has been bothering me, but there's like a little piece of hair over here that hasn't been colored in. There we go. But like seeing hair get rendered is so satisfying. Seeing clothes get rendered to me is like, alright, it's done. Move on. I don't have as much like satisfaction with clothing. Oh, and of course it's a different color. So I'll go ahead and get that down. This says, the hair makes me want to commit arson every time. We should just collaborate. Make me color all your hair. I'll just like do a coloring. Actually, speaking of coloring books, if you ever wanted just the line work for this, and you were like trying to practice coloring styles and stuff like that, this is your art. So like, if you ever just want any formatting of it, like transparent background versions, or line art versions and stuff like that. Sometimes I'm looking for coloring pages and stuff to like practice coloring on. So if you ever wanted to just stick around with the line work, I would totally give you a line work version. Gian says, and before, I was imagining Lenn baseball player mode. Trying to figure out a hybrid between a princess dress and a baseball outfit made me think that it would look like something like something coming from Genshin. That would be super fucking cute. Lenn, you should totally have a baseball outfit. Like, let me see. I feel like I have kind of an idea of what that might look like, but I don't know because it's been a while. Let me see. I'm pulling up pictures. So there are some, like, in Love Live, like, baseball outfits that are kind of frilly and cute. Like, here's one with Reen. Oh my god, I did not realize how many tabs I have open right now. That is, like, not a thing I usually have to do. Lenn's like, well, now you tempt me. And here's my girl, Nico Yazawa, my daughter. And also another form of a frilly cute baseball outfit. And I don't really like these as much, but I think they're same set. I feel like if you just look up Love Live Baseball, you'll get some really cute stuff. Oh, here's everyone, thank goodness. Saving me the trouble. All of them. But yeah, there's some cute frills and stuff like that on this skirt, and I feel like the Nico skirt that's like got the light blue in it is really cute, and like this little like top kind of like resembles a corset that Reen has. So like, I think you can make a super cute princess outfit. But Lenn says, well, now you tempt me. First I gotta design my October and holiday stuff though. Oh, that'll be so cute! I wish you the best of luck. Dude, I want October outfits. Ooh, I'm so looking forward to like Halloween outfits and stuff like that. Like, there's so much endless stuff. I'd be so excited. Man, there's just like so much opportunity. There's like so many things you could. I don't even know. I mean, I could totally be like, I have a PNG for being Pikachu, kind of. Whoops. I totally have a PNG with me. Oh my god, can I find it? There we go. I've got like Pikachu ears, and so I could totally be like one of the 5 million Pokemon that have yellow cheeks. Man, this song is so good. Okay, I feel like I could totally be like one of the many Pokemon with yellow cheeks, like Dedenne or something. And like that would be like a fun Halloween thing, but yeah, man, it honestly feels like it's right around the corner. And I'm like, can I do that in time? Lynn says, the October stuff's gonna take up the next 3 months for me, cause reasons. Yeah, that's fair. Oh wait, Dedenne doesn't have yellow cheeks this whole time? I've been fooled. I guess Raichu does. Lynn says, oh my gosh, Pikachu Rain was how you looked when I first found you. Yeah! Well, you probably saw me on, what is it, Ergo's channel? Because that's my, like, talking sprite for people. Which, I mostly just go onto, Ergo's channel and we talk about Pokemon. So, like, it works out really well, but I did once do Mario Party with that sprite. Yeah, but maybe here's a sneak peek on future Halloween ideas. Yellow cheeks, man. But I don't know. There's so many cool things. Or maybe I could be Cheren. Cheren's really cool. Lynn's like, yep, it was. Yay! Yeah, that was such a good time. We still gotta get through the rest of the generations. I think next one's Gen 4, which is Diamond and Pearl, if I believe. Maybe? But that's a good generation. I'm super stoked. Although I always have the question of, like, do I reach out to Ergo so we can keep doing that? Or does he reach out to me? Because I usually do it on his channel. So I'm like, I don't be like, hey, dude, host me. But maybe I should host him next time. But I don't know. I'll ask him what he's most comfortable with. And then I'll see if he wants to do Gen 4 on my channel or his. Because I don't want him to always have to be the one who's hosting and stuff like that. Alright, so the corset's done. Let me see about the rest of the cape. Dude, I love your cape so much. Like, I want a little cape. This is so cool. I want, like, a Shigukara Guardian outfit. Which I can also pull up a reference for. Let me see. Shigukara Tadase. Tadase wears it best, because he's the king. Boop. And oh, you wanted the smallest picture ever of what the outfit I'm talking about is. Here you go. Anyways, this like cape is so cute. Like I love like the capelet. Oh yay! Hey Lottie, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. And we're doing hydrate and stretch. Thank you very much. I will totally stretch my hands out, stretch my back, stretching out. Thank you. I hope you're having a good day today and enjoying yourself. Oh my god, my shoulders are like popping. Apparently I really needed to stretch. Twisting. Twisting. Lenn says capes are just so fun. Yeah, they are. Like, they're such a cute vibe. And like honestly, sleeves are really cute too, but it's summer and so I do not have any. But I like sleeves. Lonnie says, yes, I'm relaxing now. How are you? I'm about to take a sip of water, so I'm gonna mute real quick. Alright, water sipped. I'm doing good! Thanks for asking. I'm glad if you're relaxing now. Hopefully you're gonna have like a good rest of the day. Oh my gosh, my redeems have like such a contradictory thing. It says that you redeemed things an hour ago, but it's because like my computer's really torn between different time zones, so it's like every time someone sends me a Discord message too, it immediately says it's from an hour ago because my like time zones are really warped. But I'm supposed to say like, wait, what? You've been here an hour? Nope. That was just now. But Lenn says there's so many options with them too. It's the easiest way for me to work wings into my outfit without having actual wings. Honestly, yeah, like having like cape wings are so cool. Like there's just so much potential. Like it makes my character design brain just like go on fire with passion and desire to make new character designs. Muddy says you are streaming at the perfect time for me. It's raining right now and it's very relaxing. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad if the weather there is good because yeah, it's pretty hot most places. I feel like the rain is very much needed. So I'm glad if you're listening to Rain and Rain. Every now and then I'll stream and it'll immediately start raining and I'm like, am I more powerful than I thought? Yeah, and says being late watching Rain and Rain. Yeah, late night Rain and Rain. Some R&R. Well, I'm glad if you're able to relax and having a good day. Oh yeah! Lenn, do any of your characters have capes? I was thinking, is there a favorite thing you like to have in your character designs? And for those who don't make character designs, do you ever have, like, things you really like to see in a character, like goggles? I always think characters with goggles are, like, super duper cute. like pilot's goggles, or like aviator hats. It's not the first thing I think of when I think of cute designs. That's probably honestly like glasses or cat ears. So I think glasses are super cute and very stylish, and I think cat ears are as well. Whether they're like real cat ears or just cat ear headbands. I think cat ears are so cute. But horns are pretty cool too. There's a lot of things I like in character designs. I think straight across bangs are really neat. Trying to think of other character design attributes I really like. Twin tails! Twin tails are so cool, like Hatsune Miku or Nico. Or little tiny ponytails. I sometimes put my hair in a really tiny ponytail, and I'm like, that would be a fun outfit to have sometime. And Lenn says, oh yeah, a lot of my characters have capes, but most of them are either superheroes or fantasy characters, so it's a little biased. That's fair. Those are like the best genres for capes. I have a couple superhero characters. Not very many fantasy ones, though. There's just some cool genres for character design. There's like a lot you can do to establish a setting in like a world with clothing there. I also like sci-fi clothes and stuff like that. Something tells me this song is also not supposed to be on my list, but it is video game music, so I think it should work. Oh, this song makes me think Apache. Who I don't have a picture of, but they're very cool, and they just started a Ko-Fi, so if you guys see Patchy Panda around, definitely recommend checking out their... Is it Ko-Fi or Ko-Fi? I always thought it was Ko-Fi, like Wi-Fi, but I think it's supposed to be like coffee. But like, to say someone just got a coffee sounds kind of weird. Lenn says, I'm writing a fantasy novel trilogy, and so many of the characters have capes or capelets. That's so cool! Congratulations on writing and like getting your ideas out and stuff. That's so cool. I have a lot of ideas, but they just stay in my head. But like, that's so like I would love to hear about that sometime. Like, I don't know if you post about it anywhere, but like, or if it's under wraps until it's like official. In which case, I look forward to seeing it whenever it's official. Alright, what all does clothes entail? Does that also... Let me see real quick. Okay, so the bow is in clothes. I was gonna say, do we need to color the... Okay, also the yellow is in clothes. Okay, because I was like, I've done all the blue. What else do I need to do? The yellow. Gian says, love overalls and adult characters. Reminds me of cottage and flower shop stuffs. Yeah! There's an anime called Marmalade Boy, and while it isn't a good anime, I do love it because it's very funny. And the thing is, their costume design sometimes is just the cutest. Like, it's like so, like the main character will wear overalls sometimes, and it makes me like, now every time I see overalls, I just think of like the really cute costume design of Marmalade Boy. Like, it does have just such a sweet vibe. I'm glad they're like making kind of a resurgence in overalls. And Lenn agrees overalls are very fun, and she says, I used to do reading streams of the rough drafts, but they weren't received well, and so I stepped away for a bit. Might get back into it though. Aw, well that'd be super cool to see. But sorry they weren't received well at first. I do think it's really hard for original content to make a breakthrough in a world where everyone's like really content to consume like new iterations of existing content, like fan art and stuff like that. Original content can totally be swept away in the wind. But I'm sorry if that was an upsetting time. Because, yeah, I'm always pretty shy about those things. I'm always like, I don't know if this is going to get received well. And I feel like that'd be a pretty big bummer if it didn't. But hopefully it wasn't a bummer. And you're just like, guess it's just not ready yet. And then you went to the drawing board and you had more fun or something. But I would be very envious of that strength. Because I would just be like, I'm sad. And I can imagine that being sad too. But it shouldn't be, because it's totally not a testament to like how creative and cool and original your stuff is. Like, it shouldn't be sad, but like, it should just be like, oh, okay, well that's just the way it is. But it's not the way it's always gonna be, because like, it'll totally capture attention at some point, sort of thing. Lenn says, no, it's fine. It was a learning lesson. Okay. Well, I'm glad if it was just a learning lesson. I don't feel like I've ever actually tried to share stories online, but I make a lot of them. I honestly just end up sharing a bunch of OCs on my like main art account, which I will not link, because there's a lot of private information on my art account. But I have like an art account where I honestly just post a bunch of OCs and no one knows the stories. They're just like, I like your OC, I don't know what they're about, but your OC's neat. I'm like, thank you! I will probably never reveal their whole entire story because I just don't... Like, I always want to reveal stories in comic format, but I don't have the time and energy to do comics a lot. I just think comics are like one of the coolest mediums ever. I love comics. And honestly, even writing stuff down, like I've got super into fanfic for a while, and I thought that was really cool. And like I read some of my friends' original stories and stuff like that, and those are always really cool. Alright, I'm gonna make this one a little sharper because this is metal. And then we're back to fabric. Oh, Manaphy! That would be a good Halloween outfit. And said your art would be so cute in comics. Thank you! Honestly, I used to have a really, really complicated art style, and I tried to do comics with that, and oh my goodness, it was a bitch. So, part of me does kind of want to try making comics with, like, the simpler art style I've come to have. Because, like, I cannot express how many times in my life, especially in my childhood, that I would start making comics, get 10 pages in, and then just get really burnt out and be like, why is it taking so long? Why do I spend 6 hours per page? And, like, that might not even be that long for comics or something like that. I don't know what is long for comics. But, like, taking so long on comic pages each would just really burn me out on it. And I just would always start so many projects and never finish them. And it was just such a sad time. Because I eventually became an adult who, like, felt like I couldn't do it. Because I was like, well, I've tried it so many times and it never went anywhere. Because I just kept stopping and rewriting or, like, not doing anything with it. And so, like, the last time I really tried to get a comic out into the internet, I was, like, in college, like, early college age. And, so it's been a little bit for me since I last felt confident enough to try and, like, actually get into the comic spaces. But I don't know. I'd like to try it again with a simpler art style, because maybe getting through the pages faster would reinvigorate me to actually feel confident enough to get the stuff done. Gian says, for me personally, reading streams are hard to get into. It's like some Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts stream I wanted to watch, but missing one day made me feel so lost with the story. Mad respect to comic artists, it takes so much work and time to produce. Yeah, I do wonder. I remember talking to Monochrome, who's like my streaming friend. I was telling him, I was like, story-based streams are kind of unpopular, right? Because, like, if you miss one episode, then you're kind of, like, out of the loop. And he was like, what? No, story-based streams are, like, super popular because then people want to keep, like, returning back. And I don't know what the actual analytics for story-based streams with, like, continuity are, but that kind of caught me off guard. I always assumed that something that had continuity would be a lot harder to follow. But that's really not going to stop the kind of content I stream, personally. But I can see why it might stop someone else from being like, oh, well, I don't want to share stories that have, like, chronological order, because by chapter 15, people are going to be, like, dropped out, and I might only have a couple people who actually stuck around the whole time. So I don't know. But I can totally see that, because that's originally what I thought, is that, like, a stream with chronological order might have a lot of people dropping off because they missed, like, an episode or so. But that's what VODs are for, if you ever really want to catch up. I guess if there were a bunch of chronological streams back-to-back, like, every single day, that might be kind of hard. Because then you wouldn't have time to, like, watch the VOD and catch up. But I feel like if you're like, Story Wednesday, then, like, you'd have time to catch up in between. But yeah, mad respect to comics artists. There's one called, Kan, like K-A-N. And their stuff's really cool. They write a comic called Ultramarine Weather, and I actually have physical copies of their first 3 volumes, because I just thought their stuff was so fucking cool. Like, I love their art style, and I love the way they compose things. They also have a comic called Radio Wave Communication that I used to own, but I let a friend borrow it, and now I don't know where it is. So, pretty sad about that, because I actually, like, met this webcomic artist in person. And I was so stoked they had Radio Wave Communication. I was like, oh, what's this about? And they're like, it's about robots who fall in love. And I was like, I am 100% gonna buy this. And it was a really cute comic, and every now and then they draw fan art of those characters, and I think Khan is, yeah, probably my favorite webcomic artist. They also write a series about an alien that's very relatable and very cool. But it hasn't been updated in several years. So I think Ultramarine Weather is their main project. And I have all 3 volumes of Ultramarine Weather, but I've never read volume 3, because I do this a lot. Like, I have like 8 volumes of P to 10, but I've only read the first 3. I just read really slowly. And yet the other day, I got a Sonic comic, and I read the entire thing from start to finish. So I I don't know. I think if the stakes are high in something, it does take me a lot longer to read it, just because I have trouble reading things that are very serious, even if they are really good, and I want to read them. It's hard to just keep going when it's super intense, no matter how much I like it. But I try to watch intense content. Just a bit of a weenie. I like my slice of life content. Or I like really serious content that has, like fantasy vibes. Or not fantasy vibes, but like, fluffy vibes. At least partway through. Like, I think the Hobbit or whatever, or like the Lord of the Rings, sometimes they just have like nice merry moments? Nice merry moments. And like, that's kind of nice if they're super serious, tragic story or whatever, or like dramatic story. You can have like really nice, uplifting moments. I don't know how I want to do all these shines. Do I want to do them on every single yellow part? I don't know how shiny this fabric is, but the shine is nice. Cheren says lovely. Thank you! Hard not to be lovely when you're drawing Lenn. But I think... Oh, I was gonna say, I think that means the clothes are complete. Nope. Gotta go color the bow. #1 songs I really thought I was gonna get flagged for, but I didn't get flagged for. Probably this one. I kind of expected, just like YouTube didn't pick it up the first time. And I'll have a better idea of what gets flagged too when I upload part 2 of my debut video, because that was also with like that playlist full of songs that got flagged. So whenever I do that, any ones that got missed the first debut video will probably be flagged in the second one. Which I'm fully anticipating all the other Vocaloid producers to get flagged too. I was really surprised when Hachi and Wawaka didn't get flagged. And I'm surprised if Kikuo didn't, because those guys are all pretty big. But I guess everyone protects their music differently. Some people have the luxury to just be like, oh, well, I don't care how people listen to my music as long as they're listening to it. But people who need to make a paycheck probably need those views. And like that, the analytics of you not like freely sharing their music. But people who are like, I'm already making decent money or whatever, and I don't really care who shares my stuff. Or how it gets shared or whatnot. Definitely seems like a luxury. I kind of always felt like that with my art. Like, I'm not making art my career. So I always felt like if people use my art as, like, profile pictures or something like that, or if they used it and didn't credit me, I personally would never be really that upset about it. But I am upset when my friends' art gets used that way, because a lot of my friends are actually trying to make a career out of it. Or, like, I don't think you need to be making something into a career to be protective of it, also. Like, even if you just do art for fun, but you see your art everywhere getting uncredited to you, then, like, if that upsets you, that's fair. Personally, I used to be upset about it when I was, like, in college or whatever, but now I'm kind of like, if my art goes somewhere and someone liked it, I don't really care. And, again, that's just the luxury of not doing something as a career, is you don't have to, like, see every view as a potential penny. It's just, like, it can just be art that was enjoyed. But I think to say that everyone should do that or can do that is definitely a lie, because some people definitely need every view to be a penny. I am very lucky I do not. Oh yeah! I just remembered, because I was like, there was something I was going to talk about on stream. So I made subscriber badges from people subscribe or whatever, and like, I try to make them like cute little umbrellas. Spoiler, I guess, if any day we see those. But for some reason, the 3 people who subscribed to me kind of recently, they just got like little ones, and this shows how much I know about Twitch and technology, because apparently the first 10 subscribers on a channel get like little ones next to their name, like founders badges. And I think that's a super cute idea. Like, it's very much like, hey, thanks for supporting me from the beginning or whatever. But like, I was, remember I was on stream and I subscribed and I was like, why do you have a weird one next to your name? Obviously that wasn't my first thing. The first thing was thank you. But the second thing I was like, wait, why don't you have a cute little umbrella that I made for you? I was just like, oh, Rosaldia says they can turn off the founders badges if they want the umbrellas. Okay, cool. But I mean, the founders badges are such a cute concept. But like, I was like, what? Where are my umbrellas? I kind of wish they could have both, like a one with a little umbrella on it. And Gian says, one I got stunned was someone saying, use my art for anything but RP. Oh yeah, I guess it would be kind of weird to see, like, the characters you have, or even, like, drawings of yourself get used in an RP, like, with, like, really alternative personalities. I guess being protective of the original intentions of your artwork, but not being protective of the usage of it, like, visually, is an interesting stance. I've never seen that, but I feel like that's fair. That reminds me of the, like, do not interact culture on, like, Tumblr, or at least that started on Tumblr and made its way over to Twitch, or Twitter. Goodness gracious. All the the, like, DNI, do not interact culture or whatever, where it's like, freaks, don't interact. I remember that got memed for a bit, because someone was like, freaks, don't interact with my content. But it was on Tumblr, and Tumblr's response was a resounding, like, we're all freaks, what are you talking about? I thought that was pretty funny. I don't fully understand don't interact things, but I guess I get them for, like, there's a certain audience you want to know, like, hey, my content, I don't really, like, appreciate you interacting with it sort of thing. And, like, I guess any form of setting boundaries is ultimately positive, but gosh, sometimes it's so hateful. It's like, you like My Little Pony? Don't interact. And I'm like, what? What's your beef here, man? But hey, if that's your boundary, that's your boundary. I'm just saying, people who like My Little Pony are really cool, and you're missing out. But it usually gets used for more intense content divisiveness, which I won't get into internet politics, but everyone's got their beef. This song is so nice. It's like, I think Soul Silver was the first Pokemon game I ever got. So I didn't get Pokemon until I was in, like, I was, like, an older kid. But, like, this song, I think, is, like, the opening town song from Pokemon Silver, and I recently got Silver on the Game Boy, like, on the Game Boy Color. Boo-doop. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, there's a part in this song where it just cuts out and it goes, boo-doop. And it, like, really jars me every time, but, I'll try to be quiet at that point so you guys can hear it. But, this is, like, the opening town song, and it makes me kind of, like, nostalgic for the time where I got my first Pokemon game. Oh, wait, is it here? Nope. It's, like, always around that bend of the song that it goes doo-doot and then ends suddenly. The guy says, I understand the streamer saying no kids allowed on their channel and social media. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a very fair boundary. That's, like, the same boundary as, like, mature content ratings anywhere. Wait, is it here? There we are. There's the end. Boo-doop. But, yeah, definitely, like, I think age gating something, to me, is very different from setting boundaries based off of people's interests or content preferences, where it's like, if you like so-and-so content, don't interact sort of thing. Then I'm kind of like, oh, so you're, like, gating content based off of people's interests? Which, it's just kind of odd to me, but, like, everyone has their own boundaries, and I mean, I respect that. If that makes you feel more comfortable to, like, gate your boundaries, that's fine. But, like, mature, like, age gating something, I'm like, okay, well, that's fair, because, like, I don't want to get in trouble for my words being, like, shown to children, so I age gate my content for sure. Every now and then I might say something lewd, like if I talk about how Cheren from Pokemon makes me salivate, and just go on a thirst rant about how Cheren is, like, really, really beautiful. I don't really want, like, an 8-year-old kid stumbling upon that. If I play Honey Pop on stream but censored, I mean, even censored, I don't want an 8-year-old stumbling upon that. But, like, there's certain things where it's like, someone shouldn't see this, but not because they don't like it, but because they genuinely, morally, like, it's not up to me to decide if they should be exposed to that content, so I'm just gonna preemptively make sure they don't see it. Especially when it comes to age gating stuff. But, is the corset done? Yeah, okay. Time to get the bird. And a little bird, too. That's who Lenn should be for Halloween! Should be Wizard of Oz, Wendy? Is it Dorothy? Oh my goodness, this shows how much I've watched Wizard of Oz. That was the only play I've ever been in my life, and I still don't remember a lot about it. I was a munchkin, as you can imagine. Lenn says there's also Twitch terms of service to take into account with age stuff, too. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to be getting strikes because I said the F word too many times on an apparently kid-friendly channel. And I'm like, I am going to go out of my way and say blatantly I am not kid-friendly from the start. I know I might seem that way with my lineless style and cartoons, but I'm not. I swear, we will play edoge on this channel at some point as long as I can censor it, because Twitch terms of service says even if you're 18 plus, you still can't just have blatant, like, pornographic content. But if we can get censored pornographic content, I would still totally play that with you guys sometime. I don't know a lot of edoge outside of Honey Pop that really fit my tastes, because I feel like a lot of edoge falls into tropes I'm not a huge fan of, but I'd love to play it sometime, just to really express that this is an 18 plus channel. My first edoge, I'll probably just play Honey Pop. The guy says, why would an 8-year-old be on Twitter or Twitch? That is very fair, but the world's a-changin'. I mean, my coworker talks about how their, like, best friend lets their kid watch Twitch all the time. I'm like, that seems like a choice up to the parents. Lenn says, I was in that musical in high school. Fun fact. Oh, heck yeah, who did you play? You would be a great Dorothy. But who did you play? I wanted to be Toto so bad. I was like, I play dog on the playground all the time. And I was like, I'm always the dog. Let me be the dog. And they're like, you're a munchkin. I'm like, fine. I guess my dad does call me Munchkin. That's okay. And Ms. just says, you gotta check the edoge as well. Twitch has a list of some explicitly banned games. Oh, damn. I mean, if you go into your stream information and, like, set, like, which game you're playing, like, and it pops up, is that, like, a good sign that it's maybe acceptable? Because I would like to play Honey Pop on stream someday, but if I just have to record that content and, like, censor it on YouTube, then that's fine, too. I would just like to play that with you guys, because Honey Pop's, like, one of my favorite edoge, if not my absolute favorite edoge. I don't play a lot of edoge. I really like Honey Pop because of the mechanics, and that sounds like maybe the lamest thing, but I am asexual, so, and, I don't really, like, play edoge for that reasoning. I play it out of a sense of fascination. If that's not the most alien thing you've ever heard me say, then I don't know what else I could possibly say. But I just play edoge out of a sense of fascination and humor. But I also think it's, like, cool, like, salacious material. That's fun. But Rizaldia says, not sure if they'd be cool if the explicitly banned ones are played, even if censored. Yeah, I definitely don't. We'll check that list then if they have one. Honey Pop 1 and 2 are on the banned list? No way! Their content's so fucking good! Alright, well fuck it, I'll record it someday. I wonder if YouTube will let me do it live. Probably not. Cause like, oh man, if I even had like hotkeys for like, cause their Honey Pop censorship is not good, and so I would have to have a hotkey for like censoring stuff in advance. Thank you for sending me the list. Well, that might be a dream dead on sight. The guy says Corpse Party for a strong statement. Oh god. I did play Corpse Party once. It was an interesting time. I do like horror RPGs. That one is a wild one. As far as stories go, I'm not as super into Corpse Party, but also like ecchi when it comes to like high school characters. Kind of like isn't my jam. I'm like, Honey Pop I think is really cool because like they're all adults. But Lenn says, I was in the Lollipop Guild, a Poppy, an Ozian, and a featured dancing. Ooh, that's so cool. Hey, I was the leader of the Lollipop Guild. Dude, we're munchkins together. Rosalie says on the list. Lenn says, I've seen videos of it on YouTube. Yeah, I've seen some people post Honey Pop on YouTube, but it's definitely always not monetized, so I would go out of my way to do that. Like, make sure it's not monetized or anything like that, because I don't think anyone wants their ads appearing on Honey Pop. Which is fair. I just think it's a fun series, and it's like really few edoge actually have adult characters, and I think that's why I have like a hard time playing edoge, because I feel like even the ones that do, just like the plots aren't that interesting, or they're very fantasy oriented, and that's not always my jam, despite like thinking fantasy's cool. I feel like I'm very picky with edoge, and that's why like Honey Pop 1 and 2 are like my two. I guess 1 more than 2, definitely. Those are just so fun, because they're so harmless and silly, and it's just bubble popping, and like, for once, the character is getting like, for lack of better term, sexualized, are actually all 18 or older, and I'm like, oh my god, why is this so rare? Why is it so hard? Because I'll be like, man, I want to play Senran Kagura, which seems like a really fun time, and like really silly, or like Galgun, but for some reason it's always in a school setting, and I'm like, to each their own, but that just is not interesting to me. Personally not my jam. But Gian says not into horror. Nope, I love horror. My first gameplay was actually Misao, because it's like an old classic RPG I used to play. But I do love horror games. Corpse Party, yeah, I think it's just the vibes are different. They're not bad. I totally did play through like the whole thing with my brother-in-law once. It was a great time. I always think it's funny to like even goof on ecchi moments and things, because like I don't personally relate to them or anything like that, but I do think they can be kind of entertaining. But yeah, I like the gore. I think that's my favorite part in Corpse Party, is like the gory, terrible deaths and like the really fucked up imagery is really fun. The amount of panty shots I think makes me laugh, but again, like I know it's really popular, but like I'm not that big into like high school characters being like panty shotted and stuff. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I've thought about being like a counselor or a teacher at times, so I'm always like, oh, like when I think of high school and things like that, I'm like, I think of like kids that need guidance or help, or like I don't think of like what ends up getting put in these games, which are like, it's silly and it's fiction, it's not a big deal, it's just not my cup of tea, that's all. I think the one time where it was like, there are probably two things that are like ecchi, but like in a high school setting that I've ever liked, and one of them is because I was in high school when I watched it, and the other one, I was in middle school when I watched it, and it was High School of the Dead, and that one actually hasn't lost its flavor for me, but it's only because it is so satirical, and I'm like, there's no way that these like hourglass quadruple G characters with all the same really long hair are actually indicative of real life high school experience. Like, for some reason High School of the Dead feels so satirical that I can like be like, this doesn't feel like legitimate enough to be of a concern. And I guess they're all pretty silly, like a lot of edoge I've seen that are like Senran Kagura, like that's pretty bizarre. So I doubt it's like supposed to emulate any kind of high school experience, but if I'm gonna read about a high school experience, I tend to prefer it to be G-rated. Maybe that makes me like a pansy or something, but this is horror. If it's R-rated for horror, I'm okay with that. Like the Corpse Party, like gore and stuff, that's fun. I did watch Teen Wolf growing up, but it always did throw me off, like the amount of like sensual content in it, and I think it's because I was in high school and I was always like, is that really what high school is supposed to be like? But I'm like super ace and retreating into everything like Scott McCall just really wants to get with Allison, and I'm like, I can't relate, I'm sorry. Cheren says, wonder if more adult character / setting stories would appear more often since Gen Z millennials are becoming adults. Probably, and like we consumed all that content growing up, I'm pretty sure. So it's like we kind of want to see ourselves in that content more. Like Honey Pop's great because it's like, oh cool, I'm a young adult. Like consuming content about other young adults being like promiscuous and having fun or whatever. But like with other content where it's like younger than that, I'm like, I don't really get, I don't really understand the appeal, but talking about some taboo stuff right now. I don't feel like it, is it? It's so popular, is it really that taboo? I don't know. But I would like to find more content like that. I hope you're right, Gian. I hope that more like adult setting and character stories get more popular, especially since like young adults are in the generation currently where like anime content, like content with chronological order storytelling that like gets really deep and serious and stuff like that, or even lighthearted chronological storytelling, which isn't as common in Western animated media. But like this generation, like millennial Gen Z generation, has grown up on chronological content, like animation being taken seriously and being really awesome, and it makes me like hopeful that the future will be full of a lot more content that's animated focusing on older generations, because we definitely have, like, I guess, like, Up was about an older man, and that's cool. The Pixar movie. And, like, a lot of Disney princesses are older. And stuff like that. Like, I don't know how much older, because I'm like, well, Merida's about to get married, so she must be pretty old. And I'm like, actually, I don't know, it's medieval era. For all I know, she's, like, literally just 13. Because I don't know what the marriage age was back then, but I think a lot of medieval marriage ages were pretty young. But, I do think the generation that has appreciated animation being taken seriously and not just as, like, a bunch of, like, comedy that's, like, one-off bits, which, nothing against that, I do love that kind of content. But, like, the generation that's taken animation more seriously more recently, I think they'll grow up and make a lot more content where it's not just always the same story of the same 12-year-old doing the same thing. And that, like, all the eroge won't be the same high schoolers in, I don't know, high school. I can hope. I can dream. I remember I asked a friend, I was like, do you have any eroge recommendations? They're like, yeah. And I was like, do you have any eroge recommendations where the characters are adults? And it's like, the list gets smaller, and I'm like, no. Why? Isolde says, medieval peasants actually got married older. It was really only the wealthy ruling class that took more child brides, spookily enough. Ew. Yeah, it's sketch as heck. But medieval peasants actually got married older? That's awesome. Why did we get rid of that trend? I feel like now it's like, oh, you're 20? Are you married yet? And I'm like, ew. Not against anyone who's married at 20. I mean, I know someone who got married, like, the second they turned 18, because they had, like, been with that person for a really long time, like, in their youth. And you know what? They're doing fucking great. So, like, no shade on people who get married ASAP. Just, I think the pressure to get married ASAP is kind of, like, really bizarre. Like, when did we get to the point where it was, like, if you're in your mid-20s and you're not married, then, like, what are you doing? Although I think this generation is very, very different. Like, it's totally changing the tides of that, because I feel like this generation, definitely there's a lot of people, like, making posts online, especially about, like, so, why is it that all my friends are having babies and getting married, but I'm still just, like, working on my career? And it's like, oh, well, this generation is just a lot more varied. Isolde says, this might be a biased opinion, but I think it's better to wait to be married until your brain is done cooking at 25. Just be live-in partners before you get yourselves legally entangled. That's a really good point. Like, we're not really, like humans specifically aren't really done brain cooking till 25, right? Well, that's very cool. Like, but also very uncool of everyone to pressure everyone under 25 to make big decisions like that. But I'm like, wow, what a cool fact. Sorry, I really like biology facts. Like, that's a thing, right? Like, the humans don't fully cook until then? That's so wild. Like, a really cool, like, wow, 25, then you must have been, like... Isolde says, yeah, our risk management doesn't fully finish until 25. Wow. Why do we go on our own at 18? That's so dangerous. I say we because I relate to you guys, but I'm not one of you. Oh, wait, Isolde, you're not really one of us either, right? Because you're one of us. One of us. You're not really a human either, though, technically. Unless, I forget if you're a human possessed. So technically you are human. But Gian says, second that thought. And Isolde says, kind of ironic that it's the last thing to come in, and probably one of the most important for, like, making life-altering decisions. Like, at 25 you can now legally rent a car, right? Life-altering decisions. In the US, at 25, you can now legally rent a car. But Isolde says, I'm an inanimate object, gain sentience, so human-like, I suppose. So, like, you got the humanity, but you're not a human. I totally relate. I feel like it's interesting, whenever I watch movies that are like, oh, like the aliens versus humans, or robots versus humans, it's really hard to tell who to relate to sometimes, because I was totally, like, you know, raised human. But it's a tough tie. Sometimes I relate to both of them a little too much. But that's what happens when you're intergalactic. Or I guess when you're just around humans long enough, and you have a sense of humanity. But yeah, then what the heck? We shouldn't be pressuring people to marry before 25. And I do think living together beforehand is a really good idea. Like, Brevs and I lived together for, like, 2.5 years before getting married. And we weren't always planning to, because, Brevs and I are both aromantic. So neither of us can have romantic attraction toward anyone. But we always thought we should just live together and have an eternal sleepover. And we should just be, like, best friends forever. Very platonically and, like, not romantically at all. We eventually realized that there were, like, tax benefits. There was, like, living benefits to being married. And so, like, 2.5 years of living together and knowing, like, yeah, we definitely do want to kind of live together forever. Like, and have, like, this world's eternal sleepover between a robot and an alien. We figured we might as well get married. And the level of seriousness we took it, because my mom kept calling us partners, which to both of us were like, ew. We're like, because we're more like brother and sister, honestly, which my boss is like, that's weird, you like married your sister. I'm like, for tax benefits, I essentially just adopted her into my family, and she adopted me into hers. Like, that's not, when you word it that way, it sounds really weird. But like, yeah, she's more like just family to me, and this is just paper saying, yeah, we're family. But when we got married, my mom kept calling us partners, and so I jokingly said that we should sign the wedding papers wearing, like, cowboy hats and be partners. And so I was like, partner, and I'd, like, tip my hat, and Brevs would be like, partner, and tip her hat. And we played the hamster dance, which was my favorite song as a child. The da-ba-dee-da-dee-ba-do-do song. We played that. This song definitely shouldn't be on this list, actually, now that I'm seeing it. Holy shit, what the fuck? Why does it keep playing songs that shouldn't be on here? Did it not delete all the ones that weren't supposed to? Because I love this song so much, but I'm like, wait, this shouldn't be playing. Okay. We're back. Well, anyways, we listened to the hamster dance and we got married. That's how seriously we took this, because it's like, dude, I'm just adopting you into my family. It's not like a big deal to us. We were already family before we signed a bunch of papers. But Rosaldi says, that's such a joyful relationship, Rain. Thank you! It is joyful! Yeah, we're like best friends, so it's like a really fun time, and it's also nice to just be like, oh cool, now we get like insurance benefits. As Gian says, there's good marriage bonuses. But like, you got insurance, you got tax benefits, just like getting help in general seems a lot easier. Yeah, like whether it's car or life insurance or dentistry. It's just a lot easier to be on the same plans for things like that. We still haven't, like, integrated bank accounts, but because we live in the same roof and, like, basically buy all the same expenses and stuff, we've talked about it. We share a Spotify. But, yeah, it's a fun arrangement. We basically just play Sonic games and collect a lot of systems together. We're just like, man, I'm bored, wanna play Team Sonic Racing? And that's the extent of friendship. No, we're really good friends. So, it's awesome living there. Ms. already says there's a lot of things that are easier. Getting access to one another medically if one of you is sick or injured is key, too. Yeah, no, if, like, Brev's had to go to the hospital, which, like, I can't count how many times that's happened. Now I can go visit, like, really easily. And if we get pulled over, now, like, we can drive each other's cars really easily. And Gian says, do you share the dinosaur mug? We don't have a dinosaur mug, but I think we got 2 different cat mugs. We got a Venom, like the Marvel character mug. We got a Kyle from South Park mug. We do share all of those. We got a Pokeball mug. Brevs has talked about getting a really giant Snorlax mug. Lately, Brevs has been literally drinking out of a measuring cup, because it is the only cup, and it's like a big glass one, it's the only cup big enough to make the exact coffee that Brevs wants to make. In the amount that Brevs wants. So, I've just been seeing her walk around with a measuring cup lately. That's pretty funny. But, I only have 1 mug with no handles. Maybe I'll have to get a dinosaur mug. I don't have a Legend of Zelda mug yet. But I would like to. That was probably the first video game series I ever really fell in love with, was Legend of Zelda. And it was through Wind Waker. My first crush I ever had as a kid. Because even though I don't have romantic attraction, I can still have crushes on people based off of infatuation and adoration. And respect. And also just visual aesthetic being nice. My first crush was Link from Wind Waker. I was 5 years old. My siblings made fun of me and I denied it heavily, but now as an adult, I'm like very proud that my first crush was Link from Wind Waker. Because he's cute! I had good taste! I've always had good taste. I have great taste. So it's just proof of my awesome taste that Wind Waker Link was my first crush. I remember people be like, well, who's your first furry crush? And I'm not much of a furry, but if I did have one, it was probably Hunter from Spyro. I didn't even play Spyro, I just watched people play Spyro, and he was a cheetah, I think? He didn't look like one, but I think he was a cheetah. And I thought cheetahs were the coolest thing, and I thought he was cool because he was super fast, and I always thought that was awesome when people were fast. I was a simple kid. But, it was probably that really stupid looking blocky-ass cheetah hunter. Lenn says, relatable, child me was in love with Link from Ocarina of Time. You got good taste. Hey! A woman of good taste. We know what's up. But nowadays, if you ask me what Link I think is the cutest Link, I would have to say the Hyrule Warriors Link. I really like Twilight Princess Link, but that's more Adrian speed with like the darker hair and the moodier look. Although he is really fucking cute. But Hyrule Warriors Link? Woof. I'll pull up a picture. And I tried to play Hyrule Warriors, but I played like the definitive edition for Switch, so they added like all the add-ons that like, they're like, hey, we know you played the main campaign, so don't you want to do all this other bullshit on top of it? But as someone who'd never played the main campaign before, and all the extra bullshit was on top of it, like, do you want to like escort the tiny chicken to the end of the battlefield? Do you want to find the Skulltula hidden on the battlefield? Do you also want to do the main mission and all under a time limit while your friends are dying? And I was like, this is overloading. Genuinely, I had a miserable time playing the Switch version of Hyrule Warriors. But, oh, I gotta take a drink. Didn't realize how scratchy my throat was getting, but I had a miserable time playing it, but I love the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Like, that game is really fucking fun. Alright, here comes a picture of the Link I think is the hottest Link in my old age. I mean, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Is this not the sexiest Link? Like, he's so pretty. Like, way prettier than he has any right to be. He looks so doofy in this picture. Let me see. He looks really silly here. But I love a man with good humor. I don't have one, so he has to have one for me. Oh, that's so intense. But, Age of Calamity was a lot more fun for me. Did someone make this? I think so. I'm gonna crop out the arms. But this face is cute. Look at this! How could you not fall for him? But, anyways, I didn't like the game that much, but... Gian says, alright, me leaving. Was nice meeting y'all. It was nice meeting you too, Gian! Hope to see you around again, and thanks for stopping by and chatting with me. Appreciated your company. And I hope you rest well, and have a great night. Gian says, awa awa. Well, good night, and awa to you too. But, I'll show the hunter from Spyro that I also had a crush on. He looked really bad. I don't know if it was the same one, but this is probably my first furry crush. I mean, the hips on this cheetah though. I can't actually say a lot of convincing. Elpis says, I need to go too. Have a good rest of your evening, everyone. Take care, Elpis. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you sleep well and have a good night. Thanks for telling me about your 4th of July. Best of luck recouping and playing some cool games and shows, hopefully. But see you around and take care. Alright, and we're actually almost done, which is good, because we got like 40 minutes till I gotta head out and get to my next job. But, alright, we got clothes. We're still working on the bird. And then we will do the cherry on top, the hair. Every now and then I think about just streaming really, really late into the night. And every now and then I work a shift really, really late into the night, and I'm always like, man, I wish people were streaming at this time. I can see why they don't, though. I think once it goes past 10 p.m., most people are asleep. But sometimes it's like, I don't know, I see certain people who like do like sleepy, cozy streams, and I'm like, that's really cool. Like, I like that concept. If everyone could just like sleep better, that'd be nice. I know too many people who struggle with sleep problems. If I could just have the world's chillest, sleepiest stream, and it helped everyone sleep. That would be awesome. But I think I alternate too much between hype and chill. But I could tame the chill. I could tame the hype. I think this song is from Piku Niku. I've never played it, but the music from it's really cute. Oh, I can hear my cat behind me. He just went, ooh. Oh. Whenever I hear my cat, sometimes he's what makes me want to go to sleep right away. I just want to cuddle with him. And he always just lays right on top of my chest and suffocates the heck out of me. But it's so cozy. I love laying with my precious cat. He's kind of a big cat, though. Every time someone sees him, they're like, what? Like, I don't know if he looks that big in pictures or not, but he tends to catch people off guard with how big he is. He's just a Turkish van. I don't know if they're normally that big, but he's a pretty big boy. Oh. Oh, he's in front of me! No wonder I could hear him. He's behind my desk, but like in front of me. I don't know if you guys are gonna hear him sneezing, but he's sneezing up a storm. I sometimes close my door when I stream just because I'm like, I don't want the cats to like mess around with me too much. But, and like all my cords and things going on. But they get so sad sometimes because they just like being in the room and having company. So, I'm a sucker for them. I'll just keep my room open even if it means potentially capturing noise in the background and stuff. Alright, let me go ahead and get a light blue for the shine of the feathers. So I'm actually doing my final stream of Sonic Forces this Saturday? Thursday? Thursday. Not Saturday. I'm excited about it, but at the same time, spoiler alert, the credits has Fist Bump in it, the song, and I wanted to sing along to it in full for everyone to say goodbye to the series. But I'm like probably gonna practice at my job tonight because I work like alone and in a place after hours. And I'm like, I'll probably just sing it while I'm at work tonight and be like, alright, I need to practice. I need to make sure that I know all the words, like, accurately. And that I sound okay. I recorded a song recently, but I'm not super confident in sharing it. I did a version where I was singing along with the song, and it sounded somehow worse than the version I sang by myself without the song in the background. And I'm like, but I want the lyrics, like, or I want the instrumentals, because the instrumentals are so good. So I'm very torn, and I think ultimately I'm probably just not going to share it for a very long time. But I do have a clip I might share, which will be my first clip shared, but not from something on stream. When I was recording audio to like test it, I was trying to like test it to see if like high volume and low volume would work. So I was like, well, what's the lowest volume thing I do? And I'm like, oh, it's probably when I go heh. Like, does that pick up on no mic? Like, and I was like, I need to make sure that picks up on mic. And so I'm like, oh man, I'll test it. And it was just me doing that for a while. And I'm like, this video is ridiculous. You know what? I might share that. We'll see. I really do need to keep uploading to YouTube though, because every stream I download takes so many gigabytes on the computer. And we're like really lucky that Brev's computer has so many gigabytes on it. Because otherwise, I'd be kind of screwed. But I'm going to run out of space eventually, and I would like to move those over to YouTube so I can delete them already. And I don't know if the mouth needs to be open or closed. I'm a little torn on that. I think closed is fine. Yeah, okay. And the cherry on top of the cake! Or maybe I should do the background first. No, I'll do the background after. Cherry on top of the cake! I actually really like these dark, like, chocolate highlights in Lenn's hair on the original image. So I'm just gonna use those for the darks. Boop, 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 boop. Maybe they're darker than I anticipated, but it's still a good color. So we'll see. I also thought about coloring the line work, but I'm not sure how that would look. Oh, Lenn's hype! Thanks for the hype, Lenn! The hair is like my favorite. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to keep it this dark though, if I want to make it lighter. It is such a good color, but I'm torn. Maybe just for the back. Let me see if it will work up here. Alright, I might make it a little bit lighter. And a little bit redder. Let's see. Alright, yeah. That's pretty dark. The localization of content. Speaking of localization of content, Brevs and I have like the Famicom thing on our Nintendo Online membership. Like if you're a Japanese resident and you or whatnot, or like if your account is in Japan, then you can download like the Famicom version of games for free instead of like the SNES, I think. Which is pretty cool, but it's all the same games. It's just that like the Famicom ones, they are 1 in Japanese, and 2, they have like certain localization efforts. Like, I think it's Link to the Past. That Link originally had a shield with like a cross on it, and I thought that was kind of interesting, because they definitely took that out in America, but I'm like, isn't that like pretty common in medieval times? That they would have crosses on their shields? But I guess it was too weird. Or too religious, and so America was like, nope, no crosses for Link. We can't make him Christian. I'm like, what? He took it from a knight. It wasn't even like it was his shield. You're saying there are no Christians allowed in Nintendo products? I take a drink real quick. Alrighty. And this can probably be all darked in. Man, following hair strands, like especially wavy hair, is so satisfying. Even if I have to redo the line like a million times. Just seeing like hair get rendered, it's so nice. Yeah, this Friday, we're finishing Sonic Forces. I don't actually know how much I have left to play on Sonic Forces. It's like 3 stages and then the ending, but there's like a little DLC, which is also 3 stages. And I'll probably do a bunch of extra content too. So I'll probably do like somewhat of a variety stream, where it'll change from Sonic Forces to, I don't know yet. I have Fable on my computer, and I've thought about playing that for some time. But I'm not very confident in it. Since it's like not a game I really played growing up, it's just something I watched my brother play. But I have it. The whole trilogy, I think. I didn't even know there was a 3rd one. So that threw me off. But I got it on a Steam summer sale like years ago, and I never had a mouse to play it, because I had a laptop for the longest time, but now I'm on a desktop computer and I have a mouse. So I totally could play it. I just don't know if I want to. Oh my god, one thing I am excited about though is that Brevs and I decided to get a Xbox 360. And you may think, but Rain, have you not voiced displeasure with Microsoft content in the past? And yes, I don't like Xbox games. I don't like Xbox systems. Not what they're known for anyways, but if you tell me an Xbox 360 game that you're surprised is an Xbox 360 game, that's probably why I'm getting the Xbox 360. Like, specifically Sonic Generations and Sonic 06. Those are 2 of the biggest reasons I want an Xbox 360. And then there is one Xbox 360 game that's really notorious as an Xbox game, and it's called Dead Rising, and that I would love to play. That would be super awesome. So, I'd love to get an Xbox 360 here soon, but I don't know if the next game I want to play is a Sonic game. My Sonic backlog is increasingly giant. Because I would like to play Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog with you guys. I do not aim to be a Sonic channel though, so I'm like, I should probably space these out. I did get Star Fox on the GameCube, which is like heavily disliked, but I always liked watching my brother play it as a kid. So I guess I could always play that. But yeah, lots of ideas for different stories I could play. But I've never beaten Star Fox on the GameCube, so I can't really guarantee that I'd be able to. Not like Sonic Forces, where it's like, oh, okay, part of it was a bitch, but I know I can at least beat it and play it for you guys to the end. And I'd hate to just leave everyone hanging on a series. But I also thought about Rune Factory 5, but I kind of want to record that for you guys instead of like stream it live. And I don't know how that's gonna go. It'll probably be the first series I ever record instead of stream. So I might do that this week, just see how that goes. But yeah. There's also like just lots of PC games people would probably be interested in, and I could always, you know, go back, alternate between Sonic and RPG games and play another horror RPG. That was fun last time. I met some cool people like Psycho Sam, who liked Miso. It's always cool to meet more people who like horror RPGs. Also thought about recording Deltarune because, well, I thought about it, but I think I already decided I won't. Because I would like to experience that personally and privately. Because that's how I experienced Undertale. And I'm very grateful I did it by myself and alone in a room. And not, like, with spectation in mind. Same with Omori. I have been playing Omori, but I've been doing it off stream because I'm like, my history with that is so long and intense and so important to me that I'm like, I don't really want to like make that into an event. I just want to like play it and be a game on my own. So, if anyone has the question, do leisurely streamers play games off stream? Yes, I absolutely do. I've been playing Sonic Rush Adventure off stream, which has been fun. Oh my god, I did get like the coolest fucking tool recently that I could also stream with this. There's just so many options. Recently, Prevs and I got the Game Boy player for the GameCube, so we can now play, like, Game Boy Advance games on stream. It honestly was more for Brevs than me, believe it or not. Brevs is more of the retro gamer among the two of us. And they were like, she's always wanted a Game Boy player for the GameCube. And we finally got the disc in the bottom and everything working. Last night we played some Shamu's Deep Sea Adventure on the Game Boy Advance, and we laughed so hard we cried, I think. And then we played some WarioWare on the Game Boy Advance, and that was really fun. We passed it back and forth, and we played some multiplayer games. And then we tested, Brev's got Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, and we tested that out on the system. We also tested out our Marmalade Boy Game Boy game. That was really fun. Just to see, like, do we need a localization disc for that sort of thing? Apparently for Japanese Game Boy games or Game Boy Color games, you don't need a localization disc. But you might for Game Boy Advance? I don't know. Lenn says, oh gosh, Game Boy is retro now? Yeah, unfortunately. The days of elementary school are definitely retro. Lenn says, making me feel old over here. Yeah, I think that was like the first console I had. I take a drink real quick. The first console I had personally was a Game Boy Color. It was pink? It was like hot pink. I played Mr. Game & Watch on it, which was not a color game, so I don't know why. But then I got a Game Boy Advance SP, which was blue, and then when I was like late elementary school, I got the DS, the first DS. It was in fucking shambles by the time like 6 years had passed. I ended up destroying it deliberately because it was like the screen was falling off. It was in such bad condition. And at that point, I got the DSi later on, and then I got the 3DS. That's what I'm playing Sonic Rush Adventure on. Lenn says, when I hear retro, I think old arcade cabinets. Game Boy Advance was my first. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think retro definitely makes me think like Atari and stuff like that, but like, yeah, I think Game Boy might be retro at this point. Like, it's like, once you start making merchandise that looks like the thing everyone remembers, like iPods and, what is it? Someone was like, I'm going to a retro-themed party. Do you have any iPods at the store I was at? And I'm like, oh my god, I guess the original iPods are kind of retro now. They've been, like, exclusively a phone for some time, I guess. So, like, old iPods are seen as retro sometimes, and, like, now people have, like, backpacks that are shaped like Game Boys, or, like, phone cases that are shaped like Game Boys, because they're like, oh man, remember the old retro days? And I'm like, oh my god. This is, oh man, Atari. That was the good stuff. The only game I ever really played on Atari was, I think, Adventure? Or something like that, where you played as a yellow pixel. And this, like, ominous fucking duck would come after you randomly and you couldn't escape it. It was terrifying. It was like a classic horror game. But it was a good time. I liked Adventure on the Atari. The most retro game that I really, really enjoy is probably Galaga. I like Galaga a lot. It's one of my favorite arcade machines. Brevs and I have talked about owning one. But the thing is, my favorite way to play Galaga is on the Namco Museum, either for PlayStation 2 or for GameCube. Because the Namco Museum, you can play it 2-player, like alongside your friend, instead of just playing 2-player, one goes after the other, and I love that. Glenn says, I remember when iPod was new, and when touchscreen stuff started coming out. It seemed so sus at first. Yeah, it did. I remember I had my first phone was pretty late into my childhood, but it was technically a touchscreen one. Or it was it was like a PlayStation mixed with a phone. It was really wild. They never made those again. But it was like touchscreen, but you could touch it with like a stylus. Like you didn't need fingerprints. You could like touch it with plastic. So I used to always type with my nails instead of my like fingerprint. Cannot do that anymore. Everything is exclusively fingerprint these days. But it used to be like a DS screen where you would just like touch it with anything. I always thought that was interesting. Especially looking back on it. But it made sense. Of course touchscreen would be like the DS. It was like that was like the first touchscreen or whatever. Or one of the first commonly used. But Lenn said it seemed way too good to be true. Yeah, it seemed like futuristic. You're just like, no way. We're not just gonna touch electronics and they work. And now it's like abnormal when it's not that way. Like nowadays, even like what is happening here? I have a line here. Where is it from? Where is this line from? Oh, it's from the clothing layer. Okay, I'm gonna delete that. But nowadays even like machines, like ATM machines and like credit card machines have touchscreen. And says, I remember my aunt wanted the first gen iPod Touch and it was so weird. I bet. That's wow. That's a long time ago. Let me look up. When was the first iPod Touch? Iris subscribed for 1 month at tier 1. Oh my gosh! Thank you, Iris! I appreciate it! And also, hello! I hope you're doing well! Thanks for subscribing! I appreciate. That's like so sweet of you. I'm just talking about cool old retro iPods. Hi, Iris! Hope you're having a good day today. Hope you're chilling. Looking up iPod Touch first generation release date. We're trying to figure out when touch technology made its way to iPods first. 2007. Which iPods were the ones that didn't have a screen? A Nano, I think? Let me look it up. Nano. No, it was iPod Shuffle. Let me see. Yeah, iPod Shuffle. I had one of those. It was green. It held like 25 songs specifically. I also had an MP3 player and I preferred that. That was old. MP3 players are ancient. But such a literal name. Lenn says, my family had a couple iPod Nanos. Yeah, with like the small screen, like the OG. Monochrome, hello! And thank you for subscribing! Oh my goodness, thank you guys! I appreciate it! Also, hello, how are you too? Good to see you here, big bro. But yeah, iPod Shuffles, those were the tiny little squares they held, like, specifically 25 songs or something like that, or 25 megabytes of songs, which was a decent amount at the time, but at that point I just ended up going to my MP3 player that held 12 songs, but I could see them, so it was easier to shuffle. Ironically, than the shuffle. But said, oh yeah, shuffle, we had those two, too many iPods to keep track of. Right, and now it's just basically iPhone, and that's it. There was iPods, iPod Touch, iPads. Also, 2007, how old is that to now? The years to 2010, and then after that, it's 13 years, 15 years ago was the first iPod Touch. Wow. Laura says, yeah, there were a ton of them, and then says they got lost so easily because they were so tiny. Honestly, I remember my first phone, I lost it while playing on a snow day in, like, a trench. by my house, and I didn't know that until much later, when after 3 days of snowing, I found it on my, like, walk to my bus stop, and it was just still there, like, perfectly fine, but it was, like, dead, and I was like, oh, okay, like, I found my phone, but it's dead, and it just spent 3 days in the snow, so surely it's broken, right? Nope. I went home and I charged it, and it worked perfectly fine. That phone was so resilient. I used to call it the zombie phone, because twice over, it did something like that, where it would die, but then come back. But the thing that eventually killed it was I was washing my hands one day as a child, and I had my phone in my mouth. I was washing my hands, and I accidentally dropped my phone in the sink. My jaws weren't strong enough at that point, I guess, and I dropped the phone in the sink. I immediately raced and took it out, but even so, it was broken. Lenn says, was it a Nokia? Honestly, I don't remember. It was like one of those obscure brands that isn't around anymore, like you don't see them on the shelves. But they used to make those bricks, like, really resilient. It was like half keyboard, so you could, like, slide it to the side, but it was also half touchscreen. That shit got me through so many role plays growing up. I remember when I had to get my first phone that had touchscreen that it couldn't use my nails on, and I was so pissed because I always had really long nails. And I was always like, what? How am I supposed to, like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm supposed to touch it with my fingers? Why? Stupid. Nowadays, I tap a touchscreen just like anyone else, super casually. It's just modern technology. I guess I've always had troubles with technology. By troubles, I mean I have always bitched about technology. But, like, I like it. I feel like if you'd asked, like, middle school me, do you like technology? You'd be like, oh yeah, dude, this shit's cool. You ask modern day me, and I'm like, this shit and I are fighting each other consistently, but it does actually allow me to meet a lot of really cool people, and it does provide a lot of opportunities, so it's a really love-hate relationship. You just gotta go through the effort, and the effort, you know what, is worth it, so. Lenn says, long nail struggles, I'm right there with you on that one. I think it's all the milk I consumed, I just got the strongest, longest nails. Do you like milk too? Like, that's a really old conversation coming back into play, but, people who like milk are just really one-of-a-kind cool. But long nails, yeah, I feel like I always had those growing up. That was, like, always seen as my defense mechanism. People would be like, well, don't you need a knife on you? And I'd be like, no, guess I would just scratch their eyes out. My long nails. Which, I guess is a viable self-defense tactic, if you can get that close. I don't really ever intend to get that close to someone who could hurt me. But we don't always get to choose those moments. If I did, I would go for the eyes, immediately. Which, I think is normal? I think? I've heard that. Lenn says, despite being lactose intolerant, yes. Oh my gosh, Monochrome's lactose intolerant too, but he also just drinks a lot of milk. But it's just so good. How can you not? Like, milk is so awesome, and so is cream and stuff. But I'm so sorry you're lactose intolerant. I remember one of my siblings used to have a lot of allergies as a kid. They had to put orange juice in their, like, cereal instead of milk, because they had so many allergies, and I think lactose was one of them. Turns out that the doctor, it was just really early kid allergies that could have been worked through, like, if given in small doses and increased or whatever, and I didn't know there were allergies like that, where you could just, like, slowly get them away. But eventually, we got a doctor who told us that that was the case, and now my sibling can eat pretty much anything but shellfish. So, thank goodness, because I can't imagine that orange juice and cereal tasted good. Unless you beg to differ, bro. Your sus face over there. Man, I'm gonna have to do another poll to see, like, what kind of emotes everyone wants, because I did not realize I could have more than one, but knowing I can have 5, that's probably my next art endeavor. Lenn says, I'm the person that would purposely eat a pint of ice cream to build up my resistance, and my roommates would get so mad. Oh no. Did it work? I mean, I don't know how effective that is, but it was effective for my sibling. I'm so sorry. You should be allowed to enjoy your ice cream. What is your favorite ice cream? I find that mine is usually dark chocolate ice cream. Milk chocolate's fine too, but I'm not much of an ice cream guy. But I do like chocolate ice cream. I don't like chocolate though. I don't like ice cream, but I like chocolate ice cream. I like fudgesicles too. I don't like fudge, but I do love fudgesicles. Lenn says, depends on the day. You know, I feel like that with candy in general. Like, some days it's gummies, some days it's mints. Never chocolate. Unless it's chocolate mixed with things. Like Butterfingers or Reese's. That's a good time. I could definitely always play Sonic Mania next. Yeah, now I'm totally just thinking, like, what am I gonna do? I will figure it out. But a new game. There's so many possibilities. I do think I have a lot of games on the Switch that I haven't tried or done anything with yet, and I'll probably do that after Sonic Forces. If I still have, like, a ton of time and the game ends way earlier than I, like, expected to end stream, I'll probably just stick around in some of the Switch games I got. Lenn says, I love strawberry or almond butter for ice cream. Ooh, almond butter. You know, I'm not big on almonds, but there is this one ice cream I really, really like, and it's almonds in chocolate, and it tastes super good. And strawberry is so classic. I used to get that all the time. And my go-to as a child was definitely mint chocolate chip. So one of my Miku figurines is a mint chocolate chip Miku, and I'm like, oh, just like my childhood. Alright. Gotta render some hair over here. Whoops, wrong color. And says, ooh, yeah, if you ever see chocolate almond ice cream, highly recommend giving it a shot. You know, one game that I never think I will, I could totally stream, but I don't know if I ever will, is probably Pokemon, which is ironic because I really love Pokemon, and I have a PNG for Pokemon, and I talk Pokemon. But I really like the series, like, a lot more than the games. Like, I like the anime series, I like the card series, I just like the characters. But, like, I just never could get super into the games, but that's something I could potentially stream sometime. Because I feel like it'd be easier to do all the grind. It's the grind. The grind is the one thing that deters me from lots of Pokemon games. I could probably get through the grind if I was just talking to everyone through it. It wouldn't be so boring as just pressing the same of 4 commands over and over again forever. Which is not how everyone sees Pokemon, but it's how I see it sometimes. But I'd like to. It'd even be fun to play Silver sometime. Because I only ever played Soul Silver, but I got Silver now. And I did recently contact my friend who has Soul Silver for me, and I told him, like, hey dude, can you send that to me? It's been like 3 fucking years since I gave it to you, if not 4. Can you give that back? And he responded and he was like, oh yeah, sorry dude, it's been hectic. And I'm like, yeah, for 4 years. Thank you. Appreciate it. And so he's hopefully gonna send it to me. I gave him my address and was like, please, before I move again, like, send me my my comics I lent you and send me the games I lent you. It's not easy to find Soul Silver these days. Lenn says heavy breathing Pokemon cards. Yes! Dude, there's so many I want to share on your Discord server. Like I got one called Cheren's Care, and it's like rainbow. And as you know, I really like Cheren. But I'll show you what it looks like. I'll see if I can find a picture of it. I kind of want the non-rainbow version, but hey, I like how gay the rainbow one is. Let me see if I can get a picture. Lenn says, hopefully you can get it all back. Yeah, here's hoping. I told him, I was like, dude, I'm gonna move again, and please don't let me move twice before you send me all my stuff. But, here's the card I got. I mean, I have great taste, right? Like, I do have taste. This is just fucking prime husband material. But they have a really cool, like, non-rainbow version, and I would like that someday too. Let me see where that's at. It's not that expensive, I could just buy it. Every now and then there's a card that I like so much, I'm like, I'll just buy it, fuck it. I'll go out of my way if it's not too pricey. But look how handsome he is! I know! Lenn says, well, so pretty. He is. He is so pretty. I had a huge crush on him when he was like, Monochrome said, no glasses, not prime. I know. It's super fucking sad he doesn't have glasses anymore. I understand. I really do. It is one of my favorite character design traits is when someone has glasses. But, let me see. And then I have this one too, which is another Cheren's care, but it's like, basic. What was I saying? Oh yeah, he doesn't have glasses, but it's because he gave them to his girlfriend. So, you know, you can't be that upset with him. I do like his haircut more, originally, and I do like his, glasses a lot. But, like, he aged with me! My Pokemon crush aged with me! That's so rare! Aw, Jay, hello! Thanks for the sub! I appreciate it! Thank you! I hope you're doing well today! And thank you so much! We're talking Pokemon husbands. Specifically my Pokemon husband, Cheren. Oh, we only got 10 minutes left or so. I might go over just a little bit so we can finish Lenn's commission, because I want to finish one thing today. Jay says, hi, Rainy! Hello! And Lenn says, I don't know why, but I heard Cheren's hair at first. I was so confused and intrigued. Oh, like instead of Cheren's care. Cheren's hair, the card. But yeah, I'll look up Cheren and Bonnie, or not Cheren and Bonnie, Cheren and Bianca. And show you, he gives her his glasses! And if I were in the Pokemon world, I would not homewreck this relationship. Like, they're cute. I would not get in Bianca's way. I could. I know I could totally win Cheren's heart. I have no lack of confidence in that regards. But why would I? Bianca's so sweet, and he gave her his glasses. That's like, he gave his sight to her. I'm sure he just went to contacts. I went on a whole spiel about it. I don't know if I was on stream or to a coworker. It's probably to a coworker. About me being like, well, what is it? I think, yeah, it was to a coworker. I was like, he's so cute, isn't he? Because I do gush on Cheren even off stream. But I was like, oh, but here's his girlfriend, and pulled up Bianca, and I was like, I feel like she needed glasses at some point. Bianca did. And she wanted frames like his, because they're so iconic and cute. But they couldn't find any that were exactly like his, and he was like, you know what, you can have mine, we'll just replace the frames with ones that are your prescription, and then I'll just get my own pair, and then he just ended up not, and he got contacts, and that's my headcanon. Which, I don't know if in Pokemon Black and White 2, you get confirmation on that, because I don't think you see him a lot in Pokemon Black and White 2, but, let me see. I'll look up Cheren and Bianca, but not adults, so you guys can see what they originally looked like before Cheren gave his glasses over. Because I do like his glasses, and I do like his haircut more as a kid. But, like, I feel so spoiled that the character I crushed on when I was a child ends up turning into an adult. Because, like, Pokemon characters usually just say kids, and then I'm an adult, and later on I'm like, alright, well, I used to crush on you, but now you were just, like, son or daughter or child material, and now it's like, well, I can't crush on you anymore. But Cheren, that's a different story, because they actually made an adult version of him, and I'm very happy about that. So rare that a game's like, we know you'd want to date him as an adult. And I'm like, yeah. But here they are, when I first met them, and I was their age. Cheren's cool-ass glasses, Bianca's cute-ass hair. Although, they actually look like, they look kind of old here. So I don't know what their original age was. They could have always been adults, and I was just crushing on an adult as a kid. But anyways, they aged, and his hair got longer. And it's so cute! He's got little puppy dog ears. They're so cute. I actually, I do have NSFW art I made of Cheren, but I don't know if I'm ever gonna post that. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to drag that off stream. But maybe someday. I do plan on posting NSFW art sometime, but we'll see. Give me your sus look, Monochrome. I mean, maybe. It is definitely me and Cheren engaged in activities with one another. So I'm like, this would fit in the Grain Gets Steamy tag. But I'm like, man, do I really want my first NSFW art piece to be me and Cheren together? And I'm like, maybe, but we'll see. It's not really an art piece, it's just a sketch. I've always been tempted to share it on stream, but it's explicit, and I would have to censor the shit out of it first. So, I don't know. Maybe someday I'll post it. With lots of warnings and shit. Alright, so I think you rendered a lot of the hair. Let me see how it looks from a distance. How does it look opposite? Okay, this looks good. I just need to get some shines in there. I don't do a lot for hair shines. I feel like I should. Sometimes. But I usually just add dots. Like, but some people do like these cool, like, whoa, zigzag. Which that looks kind of cool, but it looks like a light bulb. But like, where they're like, I'm gonna do like a beautiful thing that goes with the flow of the hair or something. And I'm like, no, I'm usually just like, there we are, hair shines. Let me see. Boop, boop, boop. Goodness. There's one dot. Needs to look better. It kind of always looks like audio wavelengths whenever I do hair shines. I just need them to be clean on both ends. Let me see. Do I want all that? Yeah, I think I need multiple shines. But I don't really like the position of those two. So let me see if I move them down a bit. Cronus the Dragon Dreamed Hydrate. Hello, Cronus. Hope you're doing well. And Stretch. I will totally do both of those. Twist into the right. And twist into the left. And stretch it backwards. Ooh. Pulling my arms over my chest. Thank you so much. I definitely could always use the stretch. I work over a tablet, so I am always keeling over. Or not keeling over, but kneeling over. Very different things. And I'll go ahead and mute myself to take a sip. Alright! Sip taken. Thank you so much! Corona says, hey, how's the art going? It's looking amazing. Thank you! It's going really well. I knew I would at least be able to finish one thing on stream today, and I went in today. I'll show you how far we've come. So we went in with this. I haven't done super much. I keep getting distracted and doing a bunch of other art endeavors, but we have been rendering Lenn so that the picture is complete. We're actually super duper close to being done. I'm not sure if I should do more with the shines. I don't usually do a lot with shines, so I'm kind of like looking at my other references for other things I've drawn, and I'm like, I guess I didn't do a lot for Udi's shines either. So I'm kind of like, I feel like I should do something more epic, but I might just keep it simple. Corona says, ooh, thank you! But otherwise, like, drawing and stuff's been fun, and I've had really good company today, and everyone's been super nice. As usual, everyone's always so sweet. But it's been a good day. How's your day been going? I'm going to start on my background. So I think the hair is done. And Lenn said blue and white would be good. I'll maybe do a different blue. And I'm trying to think. Recently I did something with circles that I was like, this is a decent circle. Was it the Udi thing, maybe? Because making circles is kind of a bitch. Yeah, it was, but I can't get those circles out now, I don't think. Oh, yeah, I can! Haha! Stealing from a previous piece. Exit, please. Corona says, oh, it's been pretty good. I'm just cooking and vibing to this art. Oh, well, thank you, and thanks for stopping by! And what you cooking? You cooking anything good? And if you're in the middle of boiling something or doing something intense, don't feel like you need to respond fast or anything. But thanks for coming over and vibing with some art with me. Always a good vibe when Lenn's on the screen. Alright. So this looks like a janky-ass circle. I promise we're gonna fix that. I just needed a circle base. Alright. We're going to rotate this. And I'm going to copy this, paste it, flip it, copy it, paste it, vertical it, copy it, paste it, vertical it, and flip it. And then move them all down, because I'm a lazy circle person, and so I just kind of make the circle and then rotate it until it looks decent. Corona says, I'm making some rice and chicken, something simple and tasty. Dude, that sounds super tasty. Man, I wasn't sure if I was gonna eat right after this before I go to my job, but like, I might. Rice and chicken sounds like the bomb. I love chicken. I remember I used to like chicken so much in middle school. I would eat my friends, like we would have cafeteria chicken, and my friends weren't like super big on it, but I would eat it for them, and I would eat it down to the bone, to the point where I would eat the bone and the fat and the marrow and everything on the chicken. I don't know why I was that hardcore. I don't do that anymore. I definitely just eat the chicken meat. But I used to eat, like, everything on the chicken. Right. Rotating into the circle. Copying and pasting it. Alright. Looking like a cleaner circle already. Curtis says, oh yeah, same here. You used to also eat, like, the whole heckin' chicken? Everyone always is like, that's weird. And I'm like, but it was, I liked it. I like chicken, just a lot. I don't feel like my house ate that much chicken. We were more of a pork family, but I'm not really that big on pork, honestly. It's alright. But definitely not my jam. Alright. Still a little fuzzy. We could stand to rotate the circle a couple more times. Just a little bit. Copy paste flip. Copy paste flip twice. Copy paste flip once. Let's see how fuzzy the circle's looking now. Not that fuzzy. Just a little bit. But pretty circly. Corona says, yeah, my grandpa did the same, so I sort of took after that. I don't do it anymore, but yeah, back then, oof. Well, heck yeah! Dragon alien solidarity on eating chicken to the bone, man. I can't believe your grandpa did it too. Like, you're like the first people I've ever met who've ever done that. But yeah, that was a different time. That was the chicken whole eating time. I didn't even eat stuffing, so I'm surprised I used to eat, like, chicken so intensely. But more surprised that I met someone else who also did the same thing. Alright, so this is the simple ass background, the simple ass version. Corona says, heck yeah! Heck yeah! I think I might do a little bit of lace. I'm not the best at lace, but then we'll probably call it. And then this time, today, I will remember, I'm gonna raid someone. I keep forgetting to do that. Alright, I need to make a lace pattern around the edge. Well, I think first, I'm gonna make, where is it? I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna move it around. And I'm going to increment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm gonna... Jay says, yes, raid people. Yes, this time I know how to do it, I think. And if I don't, I know how to do it using the Twitch app. So, I've learned. I think Ursa's doing his first 24-hour stream, so I'll probably raid him. Oh man, Jay, I almost raided you last time on a different, not last stream, but the stream before that. I think I almost raided you, but what is it? I was waiting for your startup stream to go away, and I was like, alright, I don't want to raid them on startup, so like, I'll wait. And I remember we were all just sitting around like at a campfire, like waiting, and we're like, we'll raid. I felt kind of bad. Jay says, F. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Pay my respects. I was like, I'll raid, and then I was like, watching your stream on stream, and I was like, we'll get there. We ended up raiding Sika though, so just know that the raid went to a nice place, and I would totally raid you! Alien raid to alien! I mean, nothing against every species that's not an alien, but the alien solidarity is just so strong. Yeah, next time, for sure. Alright, so that's a blue. I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste this. And I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can't, I don't think you can see it on stream when I open up stuff. You can see that the purple selection thing is purple, but like, you can't see my windows for some reason, like my like hue windows and stuff like that, so you can't always see everything I'm doing. But I'm essentially making a bigger circle. That's what I'm doing. And making sure it's not too fuzzy. Okay, it's not too fuzzy. So now we got like a little ring going on, which is good. That's a nice little flavor. And now I'm just going to try and make a lace, but I don't know if I'll succeed. I might just try to do the one that like she already has. That's like on her corset. To keep thematic. But, okay. So if I do that, and then I copy it and paste it and flip it, and rotate it, that might be just enough decal to make the circle a little more interesting. But also, Jay, I don't know if I heard how your day was. I know, I think I asked earlier, but I don't know if let me see. Yeah, I was able to hear how your day was. I hope it was a good one. If not, you don't have to talk about it. That's super cool. That's respectable. But I hope your day has been a lovely one. Jay says, it was fine. Kind of just recovering from the weekend. Oh yeah, was it busy like at work or just busy like plan-wise? I honestly had a very busy weekend too. But more plan-wise than work-wise. Alright. This is gonna be a little difficult, but this is why people make brushes inside places. They like make like, oh, a lace brush. I don't. I painstakingly do every lace and like decal by myself. Like if I ever do fan art of Kyoko Noir with her like really specific and complex lace, I would probably painstakingly just fucking draw that shit like a maniac. Because I've learned how to do brushes before, and I always forget, and instead of just Googling it, because every time I Google something, it turns into a 70-hour process figuring out how the fuck to get that shit to work. I like am so stubborn, I would just rather at that point draw it as if I was doing a painting, and I didn't have like a brush that was like a specific stamp. But yeah, it is a bitch. Jay said, busy from having my dog over. I'm puppy sitting him since my ex needs a break. Dog has been sick for the last week. Oh no, I'm sorry. I do remember you saying something about dog sitting. I'm so sorry about that. I hope they're doing better now. But, or at least getting better. That's awful. Is your dog at least really friendly and fun to be around? I know like them being a treasure doesn't really change the difficulty of maintaining a dog with health issues though. Jay says he seems just to have the runs and is vomiting. Oh goodness, that can totally be a huge hassle. I'm so sorry about that. He is the sweetest dog I've ever had. Aww, what's your dog's name? If that's not too much to ask. I don't want to be too invasive, but... Wallace! That's the cutest name! Oh my goodness. I love oh my god! Speaking of cute, my cat is literally like swimming upside down in the window right now! No! Why is he so cute when my phone's being used to film? I'm gonna pet him real quick. Oh my goodness! Dude, why my phone's being used to face cap? I wish I could fucking take a picture. But Jay showed a really cute dog and said that is his face. Oh! It looks a lot like the dog you've been posting on Twitter recently. So, like, is that the same dog you've been posting about? That is a cutie pie. I love the name Wallace. I used to dog sit a dog named, what is it? Melvin? I also really liked that name. Let's see if we can get these guys to work for us. Down a little bit more. You see, I'm doing construction with these guys. I think that works. Let's back out and see. Yeah, okay, cool. Jay says, yep, that is him. My ex-wife named him. Well, they named him well. Or she named him well. But if you were to name a new pet anything at all, like if you were gonna get like a dog tomorrow, what would you name your pet? Has there ever been a name that you had like always wanted to name your animal? I remember as a kid, I always wanted to name a black cat Ikito because I was a huge Shikokera fan, and I always wanted to name an orange cat Kyo. I have a cat that's pretty orange right now, so I almost named him Kyo for my younger self. But he's only like part orange, he's not all orange, so I didn't commit. He's just close. His name's Kai. But part of me does still feel like if I got a black cat, I'd name it Ikito, or like orange cat, I would name it Kyo. Like a true weeb. Or an untrue weeb, because I guess a true weeb would name a black cat Luna. Okay, some of these are floating above. How are they doing that? This isn't a perfect circle, so I guess it's to be expected. But that means we're gonna have to move some of these guys down. Jay says, I'm not sure, LOL. I do want to get another pet, but I feel bad having them created while I work. I live alone at the moment, so I'd rather not have them created. Yeah, that's fair. I know it's pretty hard to create animals, like, emotionally. I used to do that when I dog sat, like, a lot, and it was always pretty sad. I always felt like, I don't know, they weren't always, like, upset about it. Like, some of the dogs were just like, this is fine. But, I don't know, I always felt kind of sad doing it. So I can understand that. Alright, are we getting close to getting these guys all in here? I think just gotta move down a little bit more. And then we just gotta fix some of the lines. Like this line here. These kind of look like a bunch of little frogs. Jay says, this is my jam. Right? Some classic ass shit. Speaking of Genesis games, I really want on the Nintendo Online shop for there to be Golden Axe 3 now. Ever since Udi and I mentioned it, I was like, dude, Golden Axe 3 was like one of my favorite Genesis games to play in college. And I'm like, I really, really, really want to play it again, but I'd love to play it with Udi, and online multiplayer on the Nintendo Switch Online store would make it so easy. So, hopefully they'll get Golden Axe 3. But honestly, Green Hell Zone is one of those songs that you just turn on the Genesis and like let it play in the background because you're like, this is a good time. I'm not gonna play Sonic right now, I'm just gonna put the song on. Alright, these guys over here are a little lopsided. I'm just gonna make them eke in a bit. Alright, is it clean enough from 100%? Yeah, okay. Let me go ahead and flip this horizontally. Oh wait, do I not have that? What am I holding? Oh god. I was like, where is this? Alright. Let me see if I can just move it over evenly. Because these circles should be at least symmetrical across. Okay, yeah, it looks like it works. This is my version of making a brush, really tediously. Oh, cool, I can see the neighbor outside. They've got a dog named Bowser. He's a very cute, timid dog, so it's really funny to have a name like Bowser. But, very sweet dog. Let me see if I can flip this horizontally. I think I might be able to. As long as I get rid of all the mini duplicates up top. Oh man, it's so exciting to see the end of a piece come soon. This isn't super symmetrical. There is just one that specifically is a little awkward up here. Let me see how noticeable it is, though. Yeah, I don't know about that. Is it super noticeable that it merges in? We'll all know it's there. But man, that's so hard. Because I feel like if I extended it too much, it would get... Oh, there's a three-pronged one. Goodness gracious. Maybe if I just broke it off here? Maybe I can add a bird here or something as like a nice little... I guess I could just try to extend it. Yeah, let me see what happens when I just try to extend these, if it'll be too obvious. Yeah, I read a comic for Sonic recently, and it was, The Fate of Eggman, and it was one of the more recent ones. It actually takes place literally right after Sonic Forces, so I was really surprised, because that's the last Sonic game I played. But it was actually really good. I kind of want to see where it continues, but it was like a... Is it TPB trade pack something? It's like, it was one of those comic books that is like several issues in one. But it didn't tell me what issues they were, so I can't track down the rest. It just said The Fate of Eggman. I would like to find out where it goes a little bit. They introduced a new character called Whisper, and she's really cute. Alright, let's see how obvious this is. Maybe if I move this one over a bit too. So it's like less obviously just one really big one. I hope it's not super obvious that this breaks the pattern of them. Oh my gosh, recently, I don't know if you guys know, I think it's Sleepy Shoe? Known as Sleeps? Oh, Sakurami Sleeps. I think that's who it is. That's who it is. I know it's who it is. I think she recently was drawing people on stream, and she was like, hey guys, give me your PNGs, I'd just like to draw you, and I was like, okay, I mean, I'll give a PNG, just because whenever I see things where people are like, hey, I want to, like, draw someone, like, send me your PNGs or whatever, I'm like, I think the more options, the better for everyone. So, like, I never feel super shy about posting my PNGs there, because it's not like I'm like, free art, please. I'm always just like, oh, hey, like, if I were them, I would want more options. Like, as many options as possible from who to choose from. But she chose my design to draw, and it was really sweet and really cute. I posted about it on Twitter, it was adorable. But I still haven't watched the VOD where she draws, and I would love to see that. She used my, my winter sleeves version, which, one day I'll have sleeves. I'll get there, but not during the summer. But it was so cute to see she drew my cute winter self. Not to be narcissistic and call myself cute, but like it was sleep style, so it's gonna be cute. Anyone she draws would be adorable in her art. Alright. Now, I think that's good enough. Like, simple background, hopefully? I don't know. Part of me's like, should I gradient this shit? Let me see what it looks like as, oh, but actually now I have to use the restroom, so that's a great time to wrap everything up. But I guess I can see what it looks like as like an icon. But I might also try to finish, or add a couple shines down here too, where the volume of the hair gets kind of bigger. Let me see. Four is kind of even, and I hear that we're supposed to avoid symmetry or whatever, but is that the same color? It isn't. Okay, I was like, this isn't the same shines. Like, I think I hear it in interior design a lot, avoid making things in pairs of colors, or pairs of items, like 2 frames next to each other or something, because then people will like force symmetry with their eyes or whatnot, and if it's not perfect, then it'll like really throw someone off. Like if the frames are just a little off center, it's way more obvious if there's just 2 of them, and like you're supposed to like mirror them in your eyes or whatever. So it's like, oh, we do things in 3s, so that it looks like more natural or whatever. But I feel like 4 shines works here. Or does it? I don't think the angle's right. I have to use the restroom and head out. Instead, I'm going to get really particular about how these shines look. Because I'm definitely not going to take a break when we're this close to the end. I will just hold it. And I don't know if I'm going to take another nap. I took a nap earlier so that I'd have energy to stream today and go to my job. My like after hours job. But I don't know. Like, do I need another nap? I'll probably just eat. Now that Cronus mentioned chicken and rice, I wonder if I got any chicken, because that sounds great. It's funny, I like these songs because I hear Revs playing these games most often. But I think the original Sonic games would totally kick my ass. Cronus says, food is important. Nod nod. Yeah, and also delicious. If you cook it right, I guess. I hope your cooking's going well. I like to watch shows while I eat too, and I think that sometimes improves the food. I mean, I also like eating food with people, but I have misophonia, which makes a lot of like mouth noises really trigger me. So eating with people can be kind of an ordeal if I don't like the noises they're making. But I feel like watching shows and eating with people can be fun. Brevs and I do that a lot. Lately we've been watching Breaking Bad, which, like, no spoilers, because this silly guy over here has never finished it. But we're on the last season, and I'm pretty excited to finish the rest of it. But I realized because we took such a long time between watching Season 4 and Season 5, I'm missing a lot of context for things. So we've been watching recap videos and being like, well, let me actually catch up to speed on what I watched, like, years ago, so that we can watch this finale successfully. But we only have, like, 5 episodes left of the entire series, and I'm pretty stoked. Then we might watch Better Call Saul later, which is ongoing, but not for long. But that's what Brevs is going to watch with her family tonight. She's actually leaving in, like, 10 minutes or so to go watch Better Call Saul with her family, and I'm like, that's very sweet. Unless she's already left, but I haven't heard her leave. My door is open, and I am in the middle of the hall, like my room is. Conan says, oh, I get that. When that happens to me, I just say, well, screw it, I'm just going to watch the whole series again. I would with Breaking Bad, but oh my gosh, is it a time commitment. Like, with all those really long episodes, and, like, I have such a hard time with, serious content. Like, the reason I took such a long hiatus from watching more Breaking Bad is because it was so bleak, and it was getting so sad at some points that I was like, I don't think I can watch this more. Like, I wanted to, because I loved the characters and the story so much, but I was so, like, devastated with every episode that I was like, I think I need a break. And then 2 years go by, and I'm like, alright, now I need a recap. I'm not gonna go put myself through all the sad shit again. But I did technically have a bit of a recap. Oh hey, Lasso Cassidy, how's it going? Meowdy to you too. Hope you're feeling better. I know you still got that cold, but I hope this really is the last day of it, like you said, and that you can get back to having fun like you always do. And actually, I think with those hair shinies, we are done. Of course, I still gotta get Lenn's approval. It is very important that she likes the final piece, but I think we're good. In which case, I need to start finding someone to raid. But hello, Lasso. I hope you're having a good day. You go find someone on Twitch to raid. Lasso says, hoping to, and thank you. Been liking your art. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love your art too. Like, I don't know if you do it or if someone else does it, but like, dang, it's gorgeous. And like your character design or your visuals or whatnot, they're like so pretty. Like, also Meowdy, like what a catch. I have like lots of respect for really clean and good branding, and also like really good character design, and also really cute ass art. So, yep, looks like Ursa's still going. So we can go ahead and raid him on his first 24-hour stream. We were just talking Breaking Bad, making sure I'm wrapping up all my loose ends conversationally, I think. Yeah, I guess I was just talking about I've been watching Breaking Bad lately. But since Brevs will be watching Better Call Saul with her family tonight, I'll probably just end up watching, what is it? Pokemon X and Y, but in Japanese, because I'm watching it in English with Brevs, and I'm just watching it back-to-back in Japanese for fun. Oh, or maybe the new Tokyo Mew Mew New episode, so you guys can hear all my hot takes about Tokyo Mew Mew New. I haven't seen episode 2 yet. But Lasso says, Pillow Paper does most of my illustrations. Character design has been a journey, starting from me, and with help from several artists. Well, that's awesome. I think all the input has definitely fleshed you out, like, really well. Like, your character is, like, really gotten the most out of everyone's inputs then, because like it's so clean and it's like such a good visual. So like, also like kudos to Pillow Paper because they did a great job. Like their art is so cute. I can see why like you have like a picture per post sort of thing, and I'm like, I can see why because the art's so pretty. Monochrome says, I get a loose end you can end. Or I got a loose end you can end. It's me. End me. No! I'm not gonna end you! I'm gonna support you till the day either of us die, and even after that! My support for you is undying, unlike us, which will probably die eventually. But my support for you sure won't. I'll never do that. Don't give me that salty look. Also, hearts to you well, Lasso. I want to make a heart emote. Those are so cute. Or like one in awe, because I'm always so in awe of everyone and all their talent and all they bring and... Alright. On the note of appreciating everyone, and I think we're done with Lenn's commission. I'm going to go ahead and save it as a PNG, and then send it to her later after I use the restroom and eat some dinner. And see how she feels about it. But thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. And, like, before I go into raid, which I think is with an exclamation point, raid Ursa Kumaberu. I will have to tell him I gotta go ASAP, though, because I always have to use the restroom at the end of these. I'm like, I go to raid in someone, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I gotta go, but good luck, bye! Granna says, thanks for the stream, I'm glad I was able to catch it. Oh, it's /raid username, thank you! See, this is why you know tech wizards, or people who know, like, basic technology on Twitch, which is not me. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Cronus, I'm glad you're able to make it! And thank you everyone for stopping by, and thanks for the subs from Ivorus and Monochrome and Jay, I really appreciate it, thanks for your support! And, I guess we're gonna go raid Ursa. Let me press enter, see if that works. The raid has been created! Alright, let us go, raid time! I hope you guys enjoy his first 24-hour. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull up his stream so I can hear him. And see how he's doing. Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, enjoy the time, guys, and have a great day. Thanks for stopping by, and take care.